The original mobile gamer.
And today is episode 110, even though it says 109 on the thing because for some reason it didn't change.
Well then,
Well, then, so we're not going backwards. I'm changing it right now. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Oh, wrong
gonna go
thing.
back in time. I
Yeah. Uh,
don't know if you remember that song, but shout outs to Back into the Future for having that as one of their soundtracks.
of course, that was like one of the best movies of all time, in my opinion.
It was a really good sequel too. Like when they had the second one was actually really, really good. The sequels were not the best back then, but that one
No.
was good.
No. Yeah, the sequel is probably my favorite one of all
Mhm.
sequels. If I had to I had to pick like which sequel was the best, it was out of all sequels it would be Back to the Future 2. Cuz really
Well, I
honestly, that was the first Back to the Future I saw. I didn't see Back to the Future 1.
oh okay, okay. See, I would say that Terminator 2 would rival that because I thought Terminator 2 was a lot better than the first one. So I would say Terminator 2 is probably my favorite sequel.
Nice.
Um, actually, and the Ninja Turtles sequel number 2, that one was pretty legit too because that was the one where I think they had the whole ninja rap thing going on.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. It
That was
wasn't it
legit.
wasn't what's his name in that one too?
I
What's his
forgot
name?
the artist's name, but yeah, he actually like was doing his thing on stage. I forgot his name too,
You talking
but it
about
was
Vanilla
legit.
Ice?
Yeah, Vanilla Ice. There you go.
Yeah, that's what to me that's what made him big. I actually had the tape to that soundtrack when soundtracks were cool back
Yeah,
in the day. You know, when people actually like enjoyed soundtracks. Now people really don't really enjoy them much anymore. But
yeah. You
yeah,
don't really hear much about it, but yeah.
yeah, definitely. What was I say? Um, yeah, that was a good one. That was another one I saw the second one first instead of the first one. It was
Oh,
weird.
really?
Yeah, I was a weird kid back then. But honestly, that's where my love for technology first started was with Back to the Future 2. Um,
Okay.
and then I think that's why I like it so much because the futuristic tech, you know. And
Mhm.
I was like one of those kids thinking, oh yeah, this is going to be, you know, this is going to be the future. And lo and behold, it wasn't the future. We still don't have flying cars. We still don't have
Not the-
we still don't have cool Pepsi cans.
we don't
Uh
have Michael Jackson either.
yeah, we don't have yeah, exactly. We don't have Michael Jackson and we don't really have holograms everywhere.
Yeah.
And we're just now getting self lacing shoes like just now recently. So,
Mm,
I mean, they're about $400, but yeah, I won't be getting those.
interesting.
Definitely. Definitely, definitely. But man, how has your week been, Mr. Back to the
oh,
Future?
no, we've been pretty good. Been playing a lot of the Final Fantasy mobile games. I was actually going back and forth between deciding which one I like between Dissidia and Brave Exvius. I actually downloaded Brave Exvius too, just to kind of get an idea, a good comparison. And I've learned that I actually enjoy Brave Exvius more than I like Dissidia.
Really?
They're both the same concept as far as having to collect your favorite Final Fantasy characters.
Right.
Um, the difference, what sets Brave Exvius apart, is the fact that the story to me is a lot better. It feels more like an actual Final Fantasy story, whereas in Dissidia, it's kind of like, oh, we had to basically force every Final Fantasy character into this new world so you can fix our problems, and we have to find these persons because everybody's lost. Whereas in Brave Exvius, it's like there's different people doing their own quest, and you just happen to be able to use other people, in this new fleshed out world with an interesting story where you're actually able to collect items and walk around. And it feels like more of an actual, like old school RPG that you're playing an actual game. You know what I mean? So I actually prefer Brave Exvius over Dissidia. Now, Dissidia is still a good game,
Right.
and I did enjoy playing it. But when I loaded Brave Exvius again and did like a back and forth comparison, I just enjoy Brave Exvius a lot more.
Yeah, I
Um,
would say the only downfall for me for Brave XPS, I mean, it's not an issue now, but when I first started playing Brave XPS, I would say that the my biggest complaint about Brave XPS is that it's a very heavy game. as far
Oh
as
yeah, it's intense. There's a lot to do. There's a lot of
yeah, it's
content.
very
You gotta be
heavy.
ready for that.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a bad thing, but if you don't have like a good enough phone to support all of the data, then it's going to be an issue.
Yeah.
Uh and hold on as I take care of that guy real quick. Sorry, we do not like that kind of stuff here on the channel. So you're getting timed out for a little bit. Um but anyway, yeah, I definitely what was I gonna say? I definitely I
Come on,
definitely
Brave Exvius.
yeah, I definitely enjoyed the game. It was pretty
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah.
It's just heavy. In fact, I think I remember when you were first playing it back in the day, you had to uninstall it because it was taking up so much memory on your old phone. Not the phone you
Yeah.
have now, but your old phone. So
Yeah, it was like one of my older ones. Yeah, that was just too much. But I'm using the tablet that I have, the Tab A from Samsung, and yeah, it can more than take care of it. I love it. So
yeah,
I'm actually getting more heavy into that than the Cydia
nice,
because
nice.
it's just better. Like I said, it's like I'm playing an old school, Final Fantasy game, which I
Right.
love.
Yeah, definitely. And it's on your tablet, so it's all like on the go if you want to take it with
Oh
you.
yeah. Well, I mean, I'd have to get like service, like because I only use Wi-Fi with the tablet. I don't have an actual like line
Hmm.
for it because apparently my provider does not do like just tablets for service. They mainly just focus on phones apparently, which I thought was weird. Like, why not
Um,
let me have a tablet as a third line, but they won't let me do it for some reason. So either way, I don't
um,
mind playing it at home.
and you have what? You have Metro
Metro
PC.
PCS.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because like I said, and they're backed by T-Mobile. I know T-Mobile allows it, so I
Yeah.
have to look more into that. But I don't know if it's worth paying extra money to play it on the go since I'll
No,
usually play
no.
it
But I
on
mean,
the
there's Wi-Fi everywhere though. I mean, pretty much if you're like taking it somewhere, I mean, you could pretty much probably get into the Wi-Fi situation
Yeah,
somewhere.
if I was to go to like a Walmart or McDonald's or something, yeah,
Yeah,
I could probably do
or
that.
like a doctor's office or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I always find Wi-Fi everywhere. It's not the smartest thing to do, but if you really want to play a game or whatever, you got Wi-Fi.
Yeah. It's
Uh,
always safer to play at home, ladies and gentlemen.
yes,
Always safer at
yes,
home.
yes, and what we mean by that is not saying that you shouldn't play games like mobilely. It's just saying when you connect to a Wi-Fi hotspot anywhere, it actually makes your data more receptible if anybody's like trying to fish for data. Basically, I mean, basically, if somebody wanted to, they can backdoor to your phone or whatever connected to the Wi-Fi service to get whatever they want, pretty much. Yo, yo, yo! What is up, Ghost? How you doing, buddy? What's good, my friend? So if you can live without being connected to the Wi-Fi, in random places, I would do so, for sure.
Faux show.
Faux show, doing good. Man, you always tired. You was playing freaking PUBG and Ed, and y'all was having a screaming match. I had to freaking go. Man, y'all was going crazy. Um, but
Getting
yeah,
rowdy.
yeah, they were getting real rowdy. Him, Ed, and Diesel, and I think Diesel's husband. They were getting all kinds of rowdy. I was dang, you was awake until 6 a.m. or 8 a.m. Jesus, man. I'm too old for that mess. I can't do that no more. Can't do
Yeah,
that.
me neither.
Can't
Mm-mm.
unless
Too
it's for
broken.
yeah, unless it's for like a good cause or something. I could do it, but no, I can't do it. I can't do it, man.
Mm-mm.
To get all Haley, I don't sleep much. Yeah, I know you don't sleep much. That's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because you get a lot of things done, but it's a bad thing because you need your sleep. It's a weird combination. So my week has been interesting. My daughter was sick, starting actually last Wednesday. So she ended up being so sick that I ended up taking Thursday and Friday off from streaming, uh, just so I can be more attentive to her. Um, they put her like on
Yeah.
heavy medications, and I didn't want to be like distracted and having headphones on and not being able to hear and stuff like that. So I took Thursday and Friday off. She got better over the weekend. Um,
That's good.
during the time though, I grinded Anthem like crazy, which was fun. Uh,
Hmm.
until the unexpected news with Anthem, and we'll get in that in a little bit later. But if you have not bought Anthem yet, um, I'm telling you right now, do not buy it. Uh, don't. You're gonna have to wait until like the next update. I wouldn't even. Me personally, I don't even know if I'm ever gonna install the game ever again. Uh, just because I'm a little wary of it, and we'll be talking about it more. Actually, I've been playing a lot of chess, man. A
Oh.
lot of chess, man. I don't know what it is right now, dude. Like, um, I guess because I'm older, I understand chess more than I did when I was younger,
Yeah.
and so it's like not taking over. Like, it's not the only thing I'm doing, but it's like I got a newfound love for chess again, which is really cool.
Huh.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
it's really cool. I'm actually really enjoying it. And so like during like my downtime, I've just been playing a lot of chess. It's been really cool. It actually been making me a better Shadowverse player, which is really weird. Uh,
Well, it's actually not weird. I'll explain why. Because when the thing about chess is you're having to make moves 3 or 4 like turns ahead in your mind.
right.
So you're basically setting things up constantly. Well, with Shadowverse is kind of similar because when you're playing, you're setting up for something later.
Yeah.
You're not just thinking one turn at a time. You're thinking, I plan on doing this and this and this. So once you put that together, you start making your plays happen, and all of a sudden you end up being a better player. So
Right.
yeah, it goes hand in hand.
Yeah, and like I've never done this with chess, but I finally figured out like my favorite opening.
Mhm.
I actually have a favorite opening now, and it's
Mhm.
it's the pawn that releases the queen, and I double space it. For those,
Mhm.
I'm speaking layman terms. For double space, it means you move the pawn up twice or two spaces, um, and basically like my powerful pieces are my knight and my queen. Those are my strong pieces.
Mhm.
I'm fine without my rook. I'm fine without my rooks and my bishops. I do like my bishops, but I love my knights. I love my knight and my queen more. I've learned that like pretty much, well, at least for me, if you lose your queen, it's hard to survive in the game of chess. Which I really didn't. Again, like I said, I really didn't understand it that much until now. Like I don't know what it is. Shout out to Optic Big Timer because it's his fault I'm back in the chess. I was like, of course y'all know I'm a Big Timer, big fan of Big Timer. I've been following him for like a long time as far as Call of Duty and stuff like that. One day he got on Twitch and he just started streaming chess, and I was like, huh. And he actually plays with his subs on Twitch, and I was like, huh. And like he just started playing, like he's like never played chess before. He just started playing for a month, and like it was just cool. It was cool to watch. It wasn't like nerdy. It wasn't like nerd. It was just cool, nonchalant chess, kind of like how we would have chess. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like really cool, man. And I just started enjoying it. I was like sitting here watching him play for hours, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start playing. And I started playing again, and I actually play on Lee Chess, which is kind of funny because my name is Lee.
Mhm.
But it's
Yeah.
Li. You go to
Right.
leechess.com, and you can. It's actually there's an app on the phone too. Um, so if you can't play on PC, you can play on your phone, and you can play each other, and you can actually analyze your game, tell you what mistakes you made, tell you what you could do better, tell you how to improve your game. It's a really in depth thing for something that is free,
Yeah.
which is crazy, which is really
It,
cool.
I think it's really cool that sometimes we get into those phases because I didn't play chess for the longest time either, but what got me back into it for a little while was back in the Genesis Games days. You know, for the most part, we were just playing card games and video games. You know, and I'm not even sure why, but one day I just brought my chess set. I think it was like a friend of mine was like, "Yeah, I'd like to play chess against somebody sometime." And we happened to talk. I was like, I got my own set, so I brought it up, right?
Uh
So
huh.
I bring it up to the shop, and me and the homeboys playing, and all of a sudden everybody else is like, "Oh, I want to play! I want to play!" And I'm like, "Wait, y'all know how to play chess?" We're like, "Yeah." So all of a sudden, it became like the most hyped thing for that day. Which is all of us getting together playing chess. It was nuts. It was to the point to where I decided to leave my chess set at that store, so anybody that wanted to play while I was gone could just play as long as they kept all the pieces together.
That's
And that's
dope.
what I did. I left it there. It was pretty cool.
That's dope. That's sick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, it's crazy though. It's crazy because chess is still a game, so technically it's still gaming, and it's
Mm-hmm.
crazy because if you're not into video games, a lot of people are like into chess. Like I didn't notice, but a lot of people on my Facebook that I didn't go to school with, uh, um, they may not be like into video games, but they're into chess, and they've been wanting to play me in chess, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it
So
is pretty legit.
it kind of opens the door, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, most people don't admit that they play chess because, back in the 90s, it really wasn't socially acceptable. And even now, I'm not even really sure how big of a deal it is right now,
It's
but,
actually pretty big on chess, which is really weird. I mean, not chess, but
huh,
Twitch, but Twitch. It's just
that's
kind of...
pretty cool.
Yo, Kuda,
Yo,
thank you for that
yo, thank you
host,
for that
man.
host, man.
Yo, I think honestly, I think chess is more acceptable than card games at this point, as far as like the trading card games that me and you play. I think like say for instance, unless you're like in the community, of course, I think chess is more acceptable than Shadowverse.
Yeah, socially, yeah.
Yeah,
Chess is more socially acceptable than card games in general, as far
right.
as like trading card games,
Yeah,
yeah. Like
yeah,
Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, all that stuff,
yep,
yeah.
yep, definitely. It's crazy, and I think it's just because everybody, it's chess is more easier for people to relate.
Yeah.
You know,
And it's not as complicated as far as but when you're playing like trading card games, you have to collect stuff, you have to look for stuff, you have to constantly study something new all the time. Just as simple. Here are the rules, play the game.
yeah, everybody has the
Mm,
same pieces. Everybody has the same, same moves.
exactly.
You know,
Hmm.
everybody can start with trading card games. Not everybody's gonna have the opportunity that you have. Like
Exactly.
not everybody's gonna have the deck that me and you have in Shadowverse.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, which I'm speaking of which, I've also in the process of building my warrior or not warrior, or my swordcraft deck finally.
Oh, okay. That's
Yes,
cool.
slowly but surely. I have the cards to make it. I'm just trying to make sure I make the right moves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then other than that, man, I just been playing a lot of Apex Legends on stream. Still enjoying that game. I got a total of I think like 15 wins now between both consoles.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been learning a lot. I actually found out my Scuff controller did need an update. Everything needs an update nowadays. Yes, that is right. I had to go to a website, download a firmware update, and and plug my controller into the PC and update it.
That's interesting.
Even though it was newer, after the update, I just did it anyway. And yeah, I was actually 2 updates behind the current firmware software. So I was actually like, see, it was my controller was on a 0.6 firmware update, and the current firmware update for the Scuff Advantage controller was a 0.8. So I was 2 updates behind. So that was interesting. Uh,
Good.
the only reason why my controller was just acting weirder than normal, so I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and update it and see what's going on. So, or see if it needed an update. Sure enough, it needed an update. It's a
Sure
per,
enough.
it's kind of challenging to update it because you have to recalibrate the sticks, and
Hmm.
yo, that's kind of difficult. Because you have to rotate while you calibrate to recalibrate your sticks. With the update, it'll tell you when to start and when to stop, but you have to rotate your both sticks at the same time, clockwise.
Okay.
For me, that's a little difficult. To me, for my disability, doing that, that's like rubbing your tummy and patting your head at the same time and chewing gum. That's just so it's a little challenging, but I finally got it done. It took me like 20 tries, but I finally got it done. And then other than that, let's see what I played a little bit of Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
A little bit of Kingdom Hearts over the week, and I also played a little bit of the Division 2 beta. Because it was open. I'm actually impressed with it. Better than the Division 1 beta. Probably gonna be looking into it more, considering that I can't play Anthem now, thanks to Anthem, and their developers for not checking their game. So yeah, I can no longer play Anthem now. I'm kind of sad.
Wow.
Yeah, we'll be talking about that more. But without further ado, why don't you go ahead and drop some knowledge on us, buddy?
Well, the first thing I want to do is give everybody a public service announcement, and this is more for the card gaming community, but I just have to say this. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because last night a friend of mine tagged me on Facebook with an article from a very popular card. This is a very popular group in the card gaming community called Channel Fireball. I'm very familiar with them. I've actually played against them in high-profile tournaments, so I mean I know exactly what they're about. And they are a set of good elite players. Like they know what they're doing.
Okay.
Well, they posted this article about the current meta. What are the best decks to play? What's tier one? What's below that, below that, below
We're
that?
talking about Shadowverse, right? Or are we just
This is for Shadowverse specifically.
Okay.
Yeah. Now they are in the Magic the Gathering, and they also play other card games as well. So I mean, they are very well known in the card gaming community. But this is a public service announcement more for all card games, but this happened to be a Shadowverse thing.
Okay.
So they posted an article as far as what they say the top decks are for Shadowverse, and they put it was like kind of 5-star, 4-star stuff like that. So my friend who's getting into the game, he tagged me and my other friend in it, and showed us the list. And so I looked at the article, and as much as I respect them, I think they're really good players. That they're really good at the community. They're doing good stuff. I disagree highly with what they put on there.
What did they put on there?
So they said that Dragon was the #1 deck right now.
Oh my god!
Yeah. So and here is the thing is like so they put what they think were the best decks on there, and they put the list too, so you would see all the cards they're playing. And I looked at some of the lists, and a lot of those lists were all wrong. Like there was some core stuff that were correct, but there were some like details that completely missed the mark that didn't match at all. And I replied to my friend on Facebook about what happened. I told him, hey, I don't completely agree with this list, but I will say that it is at least a good start. But my public service announcement to you guys is do your own research and test things yourself. Just because a well-known popular organization posts something does not make it like the end-all be-all of everything. You need to use common sense, look at something, and if something doesn't look right, put your own spin on it and try it, because 9 times out of 10, that will be better for you. So
definitely agree with you on that. I could go so deep on that, man. Yo, I mean, honestly, like, you gotta take a lot of times people with a grain of salt. A lot of times people are popular not because of their knowledge and not because of what they know. They're popular because of whatever other things. I'm not discrediting these people. I don't know who these people are, but I'm just saying in general. A lot of times people are popular and have a following not because they're knowledgeable in what they know. It's just because people are attracted to what they do, and you know what I'm saying, and people just follow. Now, I have to say this as a Dragon player, as somebody that like absolutely loves Dragon and practically has every Dragon card. Dragon is not the #1 deck. Okay,
I agree.
I
I
have
agree.
I have one of the strongest dragon decks in the game right now.
Hmm.
As far as the meta, OG can contest to this and agree with this. It's not, and dragon is not the most consistent deck in the game. I am like fighting with myself to 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 relieve from dragon so I can go on to better things, so I can become a better, not a better player, but a better consistent player. Because the problem with dragon is not that it sucks, it's just not consistent. And right now there is nothing in the dragon meta, period, card wise, that can make dragon consistent. Nothing. 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 But again, we are not popular like that, so a lot of people won't listen to what we got to say. But I'm telling you right now, do your own research. And that goes to
Yeah,
anything in life. That goes to everything in life.
yeah, it is.
you
Just
know,
because someone says something doesn't mean they're always right.
you
I
know.
mean, heck, even when we tell you stuff, feel
Yeah.
free to challenge them. Feel free to do your own research. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
you might find something better than
Right.
what we tell you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, we're not the end all be all. We're not the all knowing, omnipotent. No, we're
Mm,
nothing like that. You
no.
know what I mean? So
No.
feel free to do your own research on stuff that we talk about or suggestions that we make. You know what I mean? I mean, we're not forcing you to believe what we tell you every time
Mm,
we mention something. This is just for knowledge and entertainment. You know what I mean? And
mm.
you do what you want with it at that point.
Right.
But yeah,
Well,
always have your own mind. Don't just suck everything in. Do your own research. Learn on your own. You trust me, it makes you better overall.
yeah, definitely. And and I've put that in every aspect in my life. I mean, is ministry, everything, because just because somebody tells you something, this or that, doesn't mean it's necessarily right. They might be trying. People might be trying to. Y'all gotta understand. People might be trying to push their own agenda on you.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm
Oh yeah.
saying? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
People are like these. Again, I don't know these guys. Whatever it is, what it is. You mad at me? What is what it is, people. But do you ever think that maybe they're trying to push a dragon agenda on you to make dragon like more common and more believable to be better? Because right now, dragon is not the number one deck in the game. Anybody that has any mind and anybody that has watched any competitive Shadowverse in the history of Shadowverse, which is not that long, knows
Hmm.
that dragon is not the number one deck in the game. And in fact that, again, I don't know these people, but in fact that they would say that to me and how I look at it, to me they lose credibility because now they're just doing it because they love dragon and they're trying to make their decision look like it's the right decision when deep down they know that when it comes down to the nitty gritty and it ain't time for pity, their deck's gonna be shitty. Excuse my language, I did it for the rhyme. Okay? But yo, it is what it is. It is what it is. Dragon is not the number one deck. I can't believe that. I'm glad I didn't see that. I would have went off.
Yeah, no, he doesn't know you, so that's why he wouldn't have tagged you with it. But he knows me and Bert, so he tagged us in it. And that's when I looked at it and I was like, and even my friend Bert, like he looked at it too. He's like, that's not right. I was like, yeah, I know. It's too many Indians and not
Not
enough
enough
Chiefs. I
Chiefs.
don't know. It's just weird.
Oh my
But
Jesus!
yeah.
What up? What up, Cool Dog? Yeah, I'm sorry. That makes me mad. I hate it when people like put false like. It's different to like when you're like talking like this and you're just talking about your mind and how you feel. But when you like strongly endorse fakeness, like it upsets me. Really.
Mhm.
And that's funny. I got something to say, so I can piggyback off that a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was reading a post one day, and these people, somebody had like cerebral palsy, and they said cerebral palsy is an illness, and that like triggered me, like not in a bad. I mean, because maybe they just don't know, but it's like this person had like a big enough, like a real big following. So
Hmm.
again, if people don't do their own research, then that's where people get the misconception of cerebral palsy, and that's why you get the weird question of, well, can I catch cerebral palsy if I drink after you, kind of stuff, because people think cerebral palsy is an illness. I'm here to tell you, cerebral palsy is not an illness. It is not a disease. It is something that has happened in the womb from lack of oxygen to the brain. That is it. It is like a stroke. It can be reversed. It can be reversed. You can reverse cerebral palsy all the way to the age of 8. After the age of 8, it is unreversible. Okay. So, and so like that kind of goes hand in hand with what we're talking about. You know, people have a strong following, so they just standing behind fake news, and like it bothers me because cerebral palsy is not an illness; it's not a disease. Uh,
Yeah, I've
uh
drank after Handy before. Like I haven't been sick because of
yeah,
them.
you know, it's funny. I've had like all kinds of things. Like I had this one girl like I was like messing around with that time. This is before But before my wife or whatever, she was like, "So, am I gonna catch what you have?" And I was like, "No."
Uh,
That totally killed the mood. I was like, "Yeah."
yeah, I'd be like, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't do this.
I was like, "Yeah, I don't think this is the right. I don't think this is the right time or the right moment
You know
for
what? You
us."
became less attractive to me
Yeah,
all of a sudden.
yeah, exactly. That's how it became. I was like, you know what? Yeah, my phone's ringing. I need to go. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, which I'm thankful because, that was God's way of telling me that wasn't the right person. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, yeah, she thought I was contagious, and then I had another female at one point go, well, if I get pregnant, am I gonna get is our child gonna get CP? And I was like, yeah, no. Again, I'm gonna go see you
Mm.
later. Chuck Deuces, which I'm thankful because like that was God's way of saying, abort mission. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it's funny now, but but again, that's from people not doing their own research and just believing whatever people hear, and that's why I tell y'all, do your own research. It's because my mother did her own research that I am the way that I am, meaning that I'm able to talk. My mother, here's another fun fact. My mother did her own research with her French arts French teacher, and her French teacher and her did research together, and they realized that if I was to blow bubbles with my tongue with bubble gum, it would strengthen my tongue muscles and my vocal cords to get me talking. So between the gaming and God and chewing gum and blowing bubbles, that's what strengthened my tongue muscles, and that's what got me talking.
Mm.
Eventually, I want to write a book on this. But God has not opened that door yet. But eventually, I'm gonna write a book on this because I I see too many people with cerebral palsy, then I'm like, dang, that could have been me. But because, you know, my mother and God and gaming, we did our own research and all that. Like, I'm not in that situation, thankfully. And I think it could help some a lot of people. But besides that, what I want to say is like that's why I'm saying you got to do your own research. Had my mom not done her own research, and she would have just believed what the doctors said, which the doctors didn't know much about cerebral palsy. Doctors still don't know a lot about cerebral palsy to this day. Um, your boy Handy would not be talking like this. Your boy Handy would not be gaming like this. Your boy Handy would not be looking like this. And I'm not meaning like in a sexy way. I mean like with my eyes. So
Mhm.
again, let this be known. Do your own research.
Mhm.
You might not only will it help you, but you might save a life that way too. But yeah, sorry, I told you I was gonna go deep on it. My bad. Apologies.
No, you're good, bro. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Man, thank you, guy who tagged my co-host in that, because that was highly interesting. Definitely.
You're welcome.
Uh,
I'll say it on his behalf.
is that the
But
guy? Is that the guy that's joining the group to card with us or no?
he might be, depending
Oh,
if he decides to stay on or not. Yeah.
okay. So I'm taking he's a dragon main also.
No, he's
Oh,
not.
interesting.
Hmm. But he's trying to learn, and so he's doing research, which is why he's like tagging me and constantly asking me questions, which I
Oh,
appreciate. I
okay.
appreciate him doing research to let me know, hey, is this legit? You know what I mean? And we can kind of go back and forth. He's learning, so that's a good thing.
Right. He's highly new. He's like how I was like when I first started Shadowverse and I really dove into it. I just wanted to tag everything. I had questions and blah blah blah, and I figured
Hmm.
out, and I was gonna get the one, trying to get the one up. Oh, I know this and y'all don't, and you're like, yeah, dude, no, that's that's not the way. I mean, y'all didn't say it like that, but
We try to be nice about
yeah,
it.
yeah. Deep down, you're like, no, bro, you don't know what you're
Nah,
talking
bro.
about. No, bro.
um, but I'll give you a little bit of actual gaming news now. So Nintendo, my favorite console company,
The company you work
has
for.
president and COO. No, Nintendo has announced a Tetris 99 Maximus Cup online event.
Don't tell me this.
No, I'm telling you right
Don't
now, it's
tell me
happening.
this, man.
It's going down, bro. It is going down. Check this out. Nintendo Switch Online members who have downloaded the Tetris 99 game can participate in the Tetris 99 Maximum Cup online event from 5 a.m. Pacific time on March 8th to 11:59 p.m. Pacific time on March 10th. During that time, win first place. You'll see Tetris Maximus on the results screen when you do, as many times as you can. After the event, the top 999 players with the most Tetris Maximus wins will be notified and will each receive 999 My Nintendo Gold points.
What?
Now, the gold points are basically currency in, live content. It's kind of like virtual money, basically.
Right.
Which because I actually have a Nintendo membership because of Fire Emblem, so I kind of familiar with this. But yeah, you get 999 My Nintendo Gold points, which is actually pretty good. And more details can be found by visiting Tetris99.nintendo.com. So go to that website if you're interested in the details. But Tetris 99 is a free to download, so you don't have to pay for the game. It's available as a special offer for Nintendo Switch Online members. So you do have to pay for the online service,
Well,
obviously. But
obviously.
yeah,
I mean, there's some kind of payment. I mean, you gotta pay
yeah,
for the electricity too to charge up your Switch. You know what I'm saying? What
there
up,
you go.
Ghost? What up, man? Man, like, bro, I'm like so conflicted right now.
Tetris 99's on fire, bro. Like that is it. That is in.
Bro, and I'm not gonna put him on blast, but I had somebody like recently DM me and it was like, dude, you need to put your Switch um thing up so you can your Switch donation goal so I can throw money at it. Like they're literally
Oh
waiting for
wow.
me to put it up so I can throw money at it. The only reason why, okay, well, I mean, well, there's two reasons why. There's one reason. First reason why is because there's somebody else in our community that's doing a Switch goal, and I don't wanna like do the same time as that person because like we're all the same people, so everybody's all donating, at the same thing. And secondly, like like I'm doing the Cerebral Palsy Foundation stream this month. So it's like I don't want to be like, oh yeah, before you give to the Cerebral Palsy Foundation, throw money at the screen for me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, no, I'm just want to
Yeah,
wait.
the timing's not right. Yeah,
The time is just not right to do it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And so as much as I want to, because this person is eager to throw money at the screen for the cause, I'm just not gonna do it yet. Just
Yeah,
not
maybe
gonna.
later, but just not right
Yeah,
now.
maybe later, just not right now. I would like to, cause I really, 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 really want to play Tetris 99. I'm like Tetris 99 and Smash Bros for me right now are like right up there for me.
Oh yeah. As a matter of fact, I have a friend who actually sold his PS4 so that he could buy the Switch.
Shut the front door, dude.
Not even joking. He just told me Saturdays. I kind of had like a guy's night out after work because I got invited to do something, and the woman said, "Yeah, go ahead and do that." So I did, and yeah, one of my friends was like, "Yeah, I actually sold my PS4 because I'm getting a Switch." And I'm like, "Really? You'd rather have a Switch?" He's like, "Yeah, I've already played Kingdom Hearts. It was good, but I'm done with it." But the Sony's just not keeping my attention, whereas Nintendo has so much good stuff that I can't help myself. So he actually sold it just recently, and he's actually
Wow.
buying the Switch. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Well, I have some
Mhm.
more. I have some more news to talk about on the Switch. We might as
Oh yeah.
well. I might as well pick you back door, are you? Because this is just something small. There's not really much on it. But guess
Sure.
guess what game's being released this month for the Switch?
I think I know what you're talking about, but I'm gonna let you say it.
Turok.
Yeah, I was actually gonna bring that up. Yep, I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
The N64 Torok is gonna be released on the Switch. You're absolutely right.
Yes, for $20.
Yeah, good
A
price.
good
Yeah,
price. I'd pay $20 for that game.
yeah, it's a
Uh,
$20 game. Yeah, sure.
and they're gonna. I think it's gonna be like newer content a little bit, but it's gonna be everything that you love about Turok besides the multiplayer. I don't think the multiplayer is gonna be added into the game, but I don't think multiplayer was in the first Turok, correct?
Yeah, there was no multiplayer in the first
All
one. That
right,
was Turok 2 that had
all
multiplayer.
right, yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was the second one.
Yeah.
Because really back then, multiplayer was just kind of becoming big when the Nintendo 64 came out. Like, because you could do the 4 players at once without the multi
Right.
tap. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
like, to me, even now, well, besides when the PlayStation 1 era and the PlayStation 2 era, the Nintendo company had the best multiplayer systems. Because
Oh yeah, they did.
Even the GameCube had the better multiplayer system than the PS2 and the PS1 and the Sega. Multi taps are garbage. Me and this man, OG, went through so many multi taps for the Sega.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Well, actually, we actually went through more PlayStation ones than Sega ones.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. More. Yeah. We must. I think we went through like 6 multi taps for the Sega, and it was the same thing. They would shorten out right where they plug in, or right where the cord meets the base,
Hmm.
and they would get loose, and they would stop working. You had to get a freaking. We would have to get books. Remember, we get books or freaking little stands to get them to sit right,
Oh
so
yeah,
they
I
would work.
remember that.
Because the problem is Sony would make them to where they would break instantly because the multi tap was so heavy that it put so much stress on the wire that within a week the multi tap would break. So yeah, Nintendo had like the best multiplayer uh experience.
System
Yeah.
because you didn't have to have a multi-tab. You just had the four
Yeah.
slots ready to play, plug
Yep.
and play. And I think Microsoft also had the four controller slots too when they dropped it as
Oh
well,
yeah,
right?
yeah. When they first came
Or
out,
was it the
yeah.
360? Well, it was actually when they first came out. Yeah, the
Yeah,
very first one. They
it
did have
was
four
yeah.
slots. Well, even Microsoft caught on real quick, but yeah, Sony was the only one that really didn't hit that mark.
Nah, which was really surprising. Now
Yeah.
I wonder how it would be if Sony would have gone on in that market. What if like the 4 slots was like a standard for
Well, I
all?
mean, they would have made more cells on controllers,
That's
because
true.
all you have to do is do exactly what N64 did, just make a bunch of custom controllers that have different colors and different schemes. And I mean, they still do it now, but the thing is it was I was more willing to buy more controllers because I had four slots and I had friends that were going to come over. So I was like, yeah, I want a red one, I want a blue one. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
wanted to get like different ones. As a matter of fact, one of the controllers, the free N64 that I was the most proud to get was the gold one for Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, I
Oh
remember that.
yeah,
Yeah,
that
dude,
was
it was a
legit.
collector's edition. it was like you could collect controllers back then, and you
Yeah,
can collect controllers now, but it's not the same.
it's not the same.
It's
Yeah,
not the same. It's really not. It's not the same, cause you don't like even nowadays, right? Like, yeah, we game together, but you it's like you don't get to like bring your controller over and flex in front of your boys. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like like even now, like I got the scuff and it's cool and all, but imagine if I had the scuff back in the day and you see me come over and you see me unzip this case and you see me come like with this like awesome controller, you know what I'm saying?
Oh
You're like,
yeah, it would have been like, bro, what's that?
"Uh,
Like I said, it would have been like, cool points
yeah,
right there.
yeah, you'd have been like, bro, he's about to flex on us. He's about to kick our butts. Well, that wouldn't have been
Yeah, man.
that wouldn't have been the words back in the day. That would have been something else.
Right.
But
True.
uh, but you know what I'm saying? Like you got so much cred by your controller. Like you knew how this person, like you knew how serious they took gaming by their controller. Like we would always tell
Mhm.
people, yeah, you can game with this, but you got to bring your own controller. Not because necessarily we didn't have controllers. We had controllers, but we wanted to see like how serious they were about gaming because we knew if you had your own controller and buy the controller, we knew how serious you were about gaming and we knew how serious to take you. You know what I'm saying? And so like that's how I always judged the gamer by the controller back in the day. That's just how I was.
That gamer cred.
That gamer cred though, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Now you don't have that cred no more. Now it's not like, well, yeah, you know, you just got gamer score. To me, like gamer score is not what it used to be as
Mm-mm.
far as trophies and stuff like that. Like it's not what it was. So like you really don't like what is gamer cred now? Like what would you consider like what is gamer cred now? Now that we have
I
online,
mean, the only thing I can think of really is just either trophies or, like whoever has like the most platinum trophy, which we talked about a few months back, actually last year, about someone who actually had the most trophies. So that's a thing. And of course, if you happen to be a competitive gamer, obviously, if your team is well known in the competitive
well,
community,
yeah,
that's a bit of
yeah.
cred. Also, it depends on the game you play because certain games have certain levels. Like for example, Shadowverse, how we have
The leaderboard,
master rank.
yeah, the
Uh,
leaderboards and stuff.
or if you're playing COD, whatever your prestige might be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just there's not one like super code anymore. It's more just depends on what you're playing and what group you're in. We're not all together anymore as far as cred's concerned.
Which really,
Back in the day, it was like cred all around. Nowadays, there's really no like overall gamer cred. It just
which,
depends on what you're playing.
which really sucks.
Yeah,
I
it kind
miss
of
it.
does.
I miss it.
I do too.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I miss flexing.
yeah, I miss flexing with my controller and stuff, and stuff like that. Be like, bam! Look what I can do. I got extra buttons. You know what I'm saying?
That's funny.
Dude, remember the micro
Yeah, the smaller N64 controller you had. Yeah,
yeah,
that was like your best controller.
that was like my favorite controller. That was accessibility before accessibility controllers were born.
Yeah.
Before Able Gamers was a thing. Well, before I
Yep.
knew about Able Gamers, because actually I found out Able Gamers was around in the 90s.
Oh wow,
I didn't know that.
that's cool, man.
I didn't know that. Speaking of accessibility, dude, I was watching this kid. I don't know if he's a kid. I know he's younger than me, but he has cerebral palsy, right? And it's a more serious case than mine. It affected him differently than me. Uh, Basically, like he was playing freaking Anthem with his head, and he was wrecking. I was like, "Oh my Jesus, dude!"
Nice.
I was impressed. I was like, "I want one of those controllers." My wife was like, "You can't get
I
one."
want one.
My wife was like, "You can't get one of those. You be cheating." I'm like,
Mm.
"No, well, technically, no." I was like, "Okay." I was like, "If I PC game, I'm getting one of those because I can't do the whole mousey keyboard thing. It's just weird to me. That's foreign
Yeah.
language." That's foreign language. But it was really cool. He actually turned me on to a new chat bot that speaks.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually way better than the one that I use now. And it's like really, really cool. The only difference is I gotta throw money at the screen, and I'm really, really debating on throwing money at the screen to get it because my my speaking bot has been really annoying lately. She's been acting up, and I really liked being able to keep up with the chat with her speaking. So like having that element gone is gonna be sucky. So, and ironically, I wasn't looking to replace her, but I accidentally yo, one-handed medic, what's good, my brother, man? What's up, what's up, what's up? Yo, that is another handy brother, man, that streams. Yo, he's really cool. He streamed I think you were just streaming Division 2 and you were playing what is it? Rocket League. I gotta say, man, I like how like Rocket League brings all the people that are like disabled gamers together, man. Like,
Yeah, actually, I've heard nothing but good things about that game. Yeah.
it's really, really good. Shout outs that it's also sponsored with or works with Able Gamers. If you didn't know, you can get the Able Gamers flag put on your car. A lot of people don't know that. I found that out like what was it, like months ago, and that's actually what made me throw money at the screen to buy the game. I wasn't gonna buy Rocket League. It's not that I don't like Rocket League. I do like Rocket League, but I spend my time putting my time in other games, and I was like,
right.
I don't see myself putting myself in a lot of other time for games. And then I was watching Magisa, and I was like, wait a minute. I was like, man, you got the Able Gamers flag on your car. I was like, how did you do that? Did you make it? And he was like, no. He was like, bro, it's in the game. And I was like EA in the game? He's like, yeah, it's in the game. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, I got to throw money at the screen. The funny thing was the next day it went on sale. But, oh well.
Nice.
Rocket League is hilarious. People, because it's hilarious, and then people get upset when they find out you're one-handed. Yo, bro, you be wrecking on that game. you be wrecking. You, Steve, man, that's a lot of disabled people that play Rocket League, man. We should come up with a Rocket League leak, maybe one day. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
The handy esports is
coming soon.
Coming soon. The Rocket League. Let's go. That's gonna be when we take off.
Yep.
I just want to be the coach. You don't got to put me in. I'll just be the coach.
You'll be the manager.
I'll be the manager. I ain't got time to it's hard for me to commit to one game. You know?
Yeah.
Water boy. Yeah, I'll be the water boy, man. I'll be the water boy, and I'll do all the promoting and all the stuff, man. You know, but except we won't be drinking water. We'll be drinking Rogue Energy, because Rogue Energy is awesome, and they also help out with Able Gamers. And if you want to try Rogue Energy, make sure you go to Rogue Energy and use code HANDY to get 10% off. Yo,
did you say code handy?
Code handy, 10% off.
Handy.
Code
That's
handy.
A wonderful code handy.
Code handy. You can also use code handy on WebAround if you want a green screen that connects to your chair. WebAround Gaming, way to go. I'm not in my green screen because it's too flipping cold for me to be in my wheelchair, and my dislocated hip would be screaming at me saying, "Get on your knees," because I hurt. It's been too cold in Texas, man. Too cold.
It has been pretty cold this week.
Yes, for sure. Definitely. I woke up yesterday. It was 20. So, yeah. Not feeling it. It's warm in my house. Don't get me wrong. It's not like we don't use the heater. But you know how it is. Like, regardless of how warm it is, your body still acts a certain way when the weather's a certain way. Regardless of the temperature. So I've just been sitting on the floor. Yes, sitting on the floor actually does not hurt me. I feel comfortable. I've been doing this for too many years. You can ask
Mm-hmm.
OG. Been doing this
Yep.
for 20 something years. It probably what dislocated my hip, but it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's
All good.
okay. It's okay. But without further ado, what other knowledge do you have for us, sir?
Okay, I gotta try to find something that's not Nintendo because a lot of what I have to talk about is Nintendo related. I'm
Hey, I
trying
don't
not to.
mind. I don't mind because I'm about to. My big thing that I'm probably gonna talk up and take a big cake of is Anthem. So if you want to talk all Nintendo, I mean, we are Nintendo Red. You do work for Nintendo. We've been sued by Nintendo. I mean, it's all good, baby. You want to go? You want to promote your company? It's all good, man. I'm sure
You're
Bowser.
funny.
I'm sure Bowser wouldn't mind.
I'm sure he doesn't mind at all. But no, I'm actually gonna get away from Nintendo for a minute. I'm gonna try to find. I'm gonna talk about. I'm just debating on which one I'm gonna talk about actually, because well, we're gonna talk about Tencent. Sure,
Mm,
that's a big company that we like to talk about. They've been a part of our soap opera overseas for a while, so let's continue the soap opera.
awesome.
All right. So Tencent applies digital lock restrictions for young Chinese players that requires parental consent to play games. All
Wait,
right.
wait,
So,
wait,
mhm,
wait, wait,
yeah,
wait, wait.
uh huh,
Read that again.
yeah. Reading it again. Tencent applies digital lock restriction for young Chinese players that requires parental consent to play games.
Is it me or does it seem like Tencent is like going hand in hand with the government?
They're doing the best they can to make money without having to have the government interfere with them. So they're taking the initiative to put these policies in play so the government leaves them alone.
So basically, they're putting the government in their pocket.
More or less, yeah. So, to be more specific, Tencent revealed further restrictions when it comes to underage gaming. So the way that it works is players under the age of 13 will need to request the game to be unlocked by a guardian. The restriction will first be applied to Honor of Kings, which, for those who don't remember, is Arena of Valor in the
Arena
States.
Valor, yeah.
Yeah. And they're all due to do that to Honor of Kings and PUBG Mobile in 12 Chinese cities. This is a new
Yo,
rule.
Cloudy, thank you for that raid. Yo, Cloudy with that raid. Bring some sunshine my way. Don't wait, you're Cloudy. What up, Cloudy? What's good, man? Okay, go ahead.
No, you're good, bro. But yeah, this is a new rule imposed by Tencent as the firm tries to adhere to tough regulations by the Chinese government. Now, if y'all remember on the last episode of the Chinese, gaming restriction soap opera, basically what they were doing was we talked about this a few months ago, where if you were a certain age, you were only able to play for so many hours
Right.
during the week, and then like during the weekend you get to play like a little bit more, but that was it. Well, now if you're like below the age of 13, I'm sorry, yeah, if you're 13 or below, in order to play games after a certain time, whatever the case may be, your parents or guardian will have to be the one to unlock and allow you to play. Because that then puts the parent
Responsible.
responsible for what happens. For what
Hmm.
happens.
I do, I do, I do like this better than what they originally wanted to do. I think
Mm-hmm.
this goes back to what I originally was talking about when we brought this up almost a year
Mm-hmm.
ago. This is how long this soap opera's been going on. It's for about a
Yeah.
year, about a year between China and gaming and Tencent, and I understand what they're getting. Why they're doing it. I don't know if I agree to it to an extent, but I mean, gaming all the time and not doing your schoolwork and your eyes and all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, but again, a parent should be a parent. Now, like I said, I think that's a better idea, but it's gonna easily get manipulated.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I mean, because I don't know exactly what they mean by parental consent because it doesn't really elaborate. So I don't know if the parent has to like type in a special code or if a phone call needs to be made. Like it doesn't really say exactly how
Fingerprint
this parental
scanner.
consent works. Yeah, or fingerprint scanner, which they've actually done fingerprinting stuff before.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, they did a thing for a while where if you wanted to play as a certain age, you had to like get your fingerprints so that they could put you on the government database for criminals and stuff, just to make sure that there was no problem. I don't know, but
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I mean, so let's just assume that your parents have to put in a special code. Well, what's going to keep the kid from getting that code? You know what I mean? So I'm sure there's something better that they thought of, but they haven't really made it clear here. So I don't know exactly what the parent needs to do.
What Grandpa Killed You said hack on sale tomorrow created by 20 Cent. By 20 Cent. What up, Grandpa? What's good, man? What's good, man? I hope your mouth is doing better, man. I hope you're able to speak. Man, definitely missed you last night, but I know how that is, man. I had 4 of my wisdom teeth removed at the same time, so I definitely understand. Yeah. But
I'm starting to see a pattern here, though, because if you're 10 cent, you're a big gaming company. If you're a 20 cent, you're a hacking company. If you're
right.
50 cent, you're a rap artist.
Who doesn't pay child support? Wah, wah,
You went
wah,
there.
wah.
Oh, that's just funny. That's
And
kind of what I had to pick that up.
and then claims bankruptcy that he doesn't got money, but yet he owns the show, my favorite show, one of my favorite shows on cable television, Power. I actually really like that show. It's actually, you already know me. I'm into gangster movies, gangster shows, so
Hmm.
it's right up my alley.
Yeah.
Feel like I was in a prize fight and lost. The only difference is when you're in a prize fight and you lose, you still get money, Grandpa. That's the only difference. um, but yeah, I don't know how I honestly feel about it, man. Like I get it, but I just feel like it's gonna be easily manipulated. Because I mean, the parents that didn't care before are not gonna care again. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They're just like,
They're gonna
okay,
find a shortcuts where they don't have to go out of their way and just give them, the rights whatever they want to.
right, or it's gonna be like, mommy's gonna be busy doing her thing. Mom, I need you to unlock this. Mom, and the parents are gonna be like, fine, I'll unlock it, and she's not even gonna look what it is, and then yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's just
Hmm.
how it's gonna be. Now, I got a funny twist on this. Why is
Hmm.
it we know how to lock? Why is it that the China government know how to lock kids, underage kids, for gaming, right? But yet
Hmm.
in America we can't keep people that are not supposed to be on Twitch on Twitch. We can't keep people off Twitch. See, because
That's a very good question.
here's my thing. Because again, I like having little kids on Twitch or whatever, but Twitch's thing is like 13 and up, right? So my thing is like, okay, so yet we have no email validation, no way, we have no way to keep kids out, but yet the China government has sure found a way to keep kids out of games with Tencent. And I'm like, dang. Like that just came to my mind like instantly while we was talking about it. I was like, wow. But yeah, we can't keep certain people off Twitch. Blows my mind. Blows
Mm.
my mind. Blows my mind.
Mm.
Blows my mind. Maybe Twitch needs to adopt some ideas as far as if your child is under the age of 18 and is on Twitch, they need to get their parent consent to get on Twitch. Some kind of
Mm.
validation. Some kind of validation. I don't know.
Oh, and my girlfriend did confirm to me via text message that most smartphones these days do have fingerprint technology. So this is something that actually could be done.
Yeah. Actually, to get into my PayPal, the only way you can get into my PayPal is with my fingerprint. on my phone.
Oh, my plans have been foiled. I can't steal any of your PayPal
You
money.
can't steal it. Yep, can't do it. Can't steal my $2.25.
Oh, I was trying so hard to.
That's gonna go to 10 cent. No, I'm just kidding. That's how I have a lot of my apps done. That just in case my daughter grabs my phone, cause
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. That way
it's a good thing.
that way she just can't just be like poke poke poke. Oh, Daddy, there's a new skin on Subway Surfer. Can I buy it? Like my daughter's still like my daughter is like into Subway Surfer, which is an app game that um you can play and you can actually buy skins. So what I do instead of like having to freaking do this and just to keep saying no, I just fingerprint protect everything to where she can't get into it. So um it's very surely can be done, and I think that would be the best way for it to get done if Tencent was gonna do it. I mean, not that again I fully support it, but I understand why they're doing it. I think it's a little drastic, but I mean, if you're gonna put the parents in charge, give them the full power of the fingerprint scanner, which, mind you, the Galaxy S10 has one of the new best scanners out there because it's not like the scanners right now are just taking your picture. The actual S10 actually does vibrations of like they do sonic vibrations of your finger and actually detect the blood in your finger. It's really crazy. The S10 is amazing. New technology, man. New technology. But I'm not getting an S10 until the Note 10 drops. To the Note 10 drops. I hope they have a fingerprint scanner on the PS4 so my kid stops buying things. Yo, you can there's a way you can do it. I mean, you can do the you can do the two thing of like mine like
Authentication.
authentication and basically um even if like someone turns on my PS4 without me turning it on, it sends a code to my phone, and if I say deny, it doesn't. It just doesn't work. The problem. I'm just telling you this so you can get stronger with it. Okay. The problem is you can't be letting your kids have your phone because what happens is they'll send a text message to your phone, and if you allow if they allow it, then of course they get through. But yeah, like I have my both my consoles. My daughter can't buy nothing, can't do nothing. The Xbox is too the Xbox is too too the 2 point whatever validation thing, and it's password protected. And then I have the point validation thing on my Xbox. And my daughter is not allowed to touch my phone. She is not allowed to touch my phone at all. She's not not at all. She's not allowed to touch it. And in fact, if she does touch my phone, that is also fingerprint scanner protected to where she can't touch it. And the only thing that she's allowed to touch as far as apps is her phone. Is not her phone, but her tablet. Other than that, she's not allowed. And it's not that like I'm crazy. It's just the way to protect yourself from accidents happening that way. My mother always used to tell me, Humpty Dumpty didn't just fall off the wall. Humpty Dumpty put himself in a bad situation to fall on the wall. The way Humpty Dumpty could have saved himself from falling off the walls never got on the wall in the first place. Like my mom used to tell me that in in when I was younger. So like basically what that means in layman's terms is like if you don't want accidents to happen like that, don't put yourself in in a crazy situation like that. I just wish they would whenever. He, I just wish they had that whenever you pay, so I can put. They do have that where you can pay.
Yeah, you can actually do a password thing whenever you pay for something.
Yeah,
That is the thing.
yeah. On the
Yeah,
PS4, yeah, you could do
you
that.
can do that.
You could do that. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
thing. Um,
yeah. Trust me,
also,
I get
yeah.
calls all the time about people who have unknown Microsoft and PlayStation charges, and they're thinking that someone's hacked their system, and 99% of the time it was done on their
Mm,
device and their kids did it. And I don't care what you tell me, my kids would never do such a thing. That is a load of crap.
that is a lot of
My
crap.
kid's only 10 years old. That doesn't
That
matter.
doesn't
Okay,
matter anymore.
you're really underestimating the intelligence of kids these days. Kids can do all kinds of stuff that you just would not understand. Ignorance is no excuse. You
Uh,
gotta protect your stuff. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, trust me, I deal with this on a daily basis. I'm constantly calling gaming companies about this stuff, and they confirm with the email address and the user ID of the device. Yeah, it was the kid who actually did it, and then we deal with it at that time. But
yeah.
so yeah, you can protect yourself. You just
Yeah,
gotta take the
you
time
just
to do the
yeah.
research and look it up.
The problem is, and this is smart on the gaming companies, is that they don't do it unless you look for it yourself. Like you got to go and you got to turn on the setting yourself. By default, it's turned off.
Yeah,
Because why? They want your money. you know,
yeah,
they don't want to create more. They don't want you to second guess. Because think about it, if you don't have any children, um, and you have that password protection on there, you're like second guessing about your purchase while you're typing in your password. You're like, well, do I really want this? Do I really need this right now? So yeah, there's ways of doing it. You have to go into your settings. Also, with what I do is I connect both my consoles to my PayPal. So if there's no money in my PayPal, uh, nothing can be bought. Um, so I I keep my I keep my bank card separate from my console.
yeah. As a matter of fact, some of the smartest things you can do, the PayPal is a decent option. But one thing that I think might be slightly better than that is, especially if you have kids, more specifically, is get an actual Microsoft card or a Sony PlayStation, prepaid card, because at that point, if you make that the only card there, you can just load money whenever you want, and you're more in control of how much is being spent, rather than having a bunch of surprise charges on your regular bank card. So yeah,
Mm,
if you have kids, the best way to protect yourself from charges is to get an actual prepaid card from the
mm-hmm.
company.
Yep. That's
You go
another.
to your local
Yeah.
Walmart, local gas stations, they sell those. Well, technically, I don't even think you really have to buy the car. You just have to put the money on the car. That's all you
Yeah,
really.
I think you can recharge the card once like
Yeah,
once.
you can keep loading it anytime you want.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you have cash or whatever, you can
Yeah.
just take it to whatever store, whether it be the gas station or the Walmart or whatever you go to, and just say, "Hey, I want to load $20 on this card." They're like, "Okay," and they take the money. I think they make you swipe it or something, and boom, you're good to go.
And I'm crazy. Y'all want to know something? I got like 3 or 4 accounts, and like I could say what I mean by that, like 3 or 4 accounts. Like I got a bank account, and then I got 2 PayPal accounts. And why you say that? Because to protect myself, so that like in case something happens, like you're not gonna get on you you're not gonna get all my money, man. You ain't gonna get all my money. I mean,
Yeah,
you gotta it's you have to take precaution. Like the world the world is not gonna take precaution for you. So you gotta do what's best with how you do stuff. Plus, if you have 2 or 3 accounts, it's easier to save money this way. Why? Because if you don't see the money that you have, you don't know you have it, you don't want to spend it. Uh,
yeah,
yeah. So you know what I mean. I saw what you said about that, and to be fair with the doctor disrespecting, yeah, even though it's funny, you let your daughter have your phone. Yeah, I mean, so And uh, that was funny though. Although I wish it would have been to me and not to disrespect. It was hilarious though when it happened, and it was funny because I called it. Um, you know, um, I have my screen turned off like that. Like, so even if my phone is on, that's why, like, if I'm watching on mobile, it shows I go in and out of the chat so much because my phone turns off. Like, my screen turns off. My screen turns off, it kicks me out of the chat. Again, I don't. If I'm not saying it to offend nobody or anything like that. We're just trying to help you guys get more technology savvy, especially when it comes there's just ways to go about it, and you just got to take the time. Again, like we were talking about in the beginning of the show, what do we say? Do what do we talk
Do
about?
your own research.
Do your own research when it comes to protecting your accounts, protecting your PlayStation, protecting your Xbox, and protecting your bank account. If you do your own research, you will find the best way that works for you. But there are ways to protect yourself from fraudulent charges or accidental purchases.
And of course, if you're having a hard time like understanding how to set things up, you can call Sony or Microsoft and get those answered.
Mm-hmm.
So, you just have to be patient and take the time to wait for someone and have them, do the stuff for you. I mean, yes, it is a little bit of work, but it's better for you in the long run. Other than that, or you can just lose hundreds of dollars. Your choice.
Or
You
you
know.
could, and there's some YouTube videos on it too, also.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some YouTube videos too. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. There's some YouTube videos on it also. That's how I learned a lot of my stuff was YouTube. That's how I learned a lot of my stuff, honestly, is YouTube.
Hmm.
But again, it's just to help you guys get smart, because I guarantee you, a hacker, your child is way smarter than you think. What up, Goosinator? Like uninstalling. Yes, like uninstalling Apex, and that's what eventually we're gonna get into. Maybe I should get into that.
Yes. Seems like the audience wants it.
Seems like the audience wants it. So I am saying this: if you have Apex, not Apex. I mean, not
Anthem.
Anthem. Sorry, I had Apex on my mind because I was looking at a tweet. I'm waiting for the freaking season pass thing to drop, but it hasn't dropped yet. If you have Anthem on PC, on PlayStation 4, on Xbox, I strongly suggest, do your own research, but I'm telling you right now, uninstall it, uninstall it, uninstall it, uninstall it, and I'm going to tell you why. It's already been reported 15,000 PS4s have been bricked because of this game. And what do I mean by bricked? Means you play the game and all of a sudden the PS4 shuts down. EA is already confirmed. BioWare is already confirmed that they know that Anthem is the reason why these PS4s are breaking, because of Anthem. It's also been confirmed that it is now spread to Xbox. So, PlayStation right now is offering a full refund for Anthem. If you've bought Anthem, they will give you a full refund, no questions asked. That's before the PS4 breaks. If the PS4 breaks, I mean, you can still get your money back, but they're not going to give you a new PS4. They're not going to give you money for a PS4. So let's reiterate that. You got to be the smart one, do your research, and make the wise decision. Do I play Anthem anymore? Do I not? There have not been reports on the PC yet. But, I mean, what's the difference? What's the difference? I'm just saying this. Take this with caution. If you're playing Apex, if you're playing Anthem, be careful. I completely uninstalled the game just in case. I don't know if I'll ever play the game again. Only because What's to say that the update works and then it breaks again? The fact that it has to be an update to keep my game from crashing, not just my game, but my console from crashing, is alarming. And the fact that they have not done the update, and they have not done the update within the first 24 hours of this problem, is alarming. The fact that it's been 4 days, 5 days, 3 days, however many days that this has been going on, and it keeps growing, is alarming. So, I don't know if I'll ever play Anthem again. This is the first kind of a bug of its kind. I've never known a bug to really kill consoles as far as a certain game. We've had the Ring of Death from the Xbox 360. We've had even, console death from the PS2. But never from a certain game. Thoughts, OG?
Yeah, this does kind of remind me of the Red Ring of Death situation. But like I said, the difference is this is a game as opposed to just a console problem.
Right.
Um, yeah, I would just be really cautious. Like, I mean, obviously it hasn't happened to everyone, but that doesn't mean that it won't happen to you.
Right.
So I would say that it's probably safer to at least maybe uninstall until you hear an update about it. So I'll kind of keep checking like every other day or something to see if there's any updates. I wouldn't feel necessarily alarmed that they haven't patched it yet because maybe it's still being investigated. Maybe this is a more complicated situation than it looks because I mean this requires a lot of coding and coding is very overcomplicating. And the only reason I know is because my girlfriend actually went to school for coding. And yeah, she said it is a very, very tedious, long, difficult thing to do in general. And fixing things is even harder.
Yeah.
I understand why it's taken them so long to fix it. So don't be alarmed by that. But just to be on the safe side, if this is spreading as it is right now, you may just want to uninstall it until they fix it, and then you should be good again. So just
Yeah.
kind of keep doing your research and letting your friends know. You know what I mean, just to protect you and everyone else around you.
Yeah, so far there has not been no timetable as far as that I've seen that um Anthem is getting an update anytime soon. I enjoyed the game despite the end game was, lackluster. I enjoyed it because I was playing with my cousin. Me and my cousin were like, owning people. So that was fun. It brought family together and then, they had to destroy the game. Way to go. Way to go. Now everybody's been with the question, who do you blame? EA or BioWare? The question is they're both in it together. It's kind of like a marriage, right? When something goes wrong in a marriage, you don't blame the spouse. When you fail, you fail together. So it's the same situation. The EA and BioWare are in this together. It's both their faults. They both missed the mark. They both allowed this to happen. Regardless how it happened, regardless whatever, because there's been reports. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this, OG?
Maybe.
It was happening during the beta.
Uh-oh. Hmm. Interesting.
So the fact that it happened during the beta, the private beta, the open beta. Now, the funny thing is like none of this was being talked about until now. Well, at least far as I know. That's a little weird. But if it happened during the beta and they didn't fix it, or they tried to fix it, or whatever, or they released the game knowing that it could possibly still be whatever, because again, it's our fault. Okay. No. When I say this, it's what I mean by it's our fault. It's because we put a lot of pressures on gaming companies and developers to be on time. So what they're trying to do, they're trying to meet their deadline or whatever the case may be. Because if they don't meet their deadline, then gaming critics are like, "Oh, this game's never coming out. Oh, this game's gonna suck. Oh my god." You know what I'm saying? This game's been making for 10, like kind of like how we've been, dealing with Final Fantasy VII Remake, how we say it's never gonna happen, and how,
Yeah.
if it does happen, it's gonna fail because the hype is over. They don't want to face that kind of criticism with Anthem or any game in that retrospect. So they put the pressure on them, but it's not. I'm not saying it's our fault the game failed. What I'm saying is it's our fault we put pressure on gaming companies in general as consumers, and they just want to make a game and get it out on time or whatever. But the fact is that if they turned a blind eye and was like, you know what, we're just gonna go ahead and release the game even though we feel like that it might happen, we're just gonna pray and hope that it doesn't happen. Well, guess what, it happened. Everybody's got chickenpox now. Way to go. And I say that to say this is because it's the same caution that you got to take. If you know somebody's got the flu or chickenpox and they're highly contagious, okay, yeah, you can either wait until that virus is gone and hang out with them, or you can go hang out with them. Yeah, you may not catch it, but you may catch it. That's up to you. Now, is that the person's fault if you catch it? No. No, it's not. So, like I said, as far as companies go, it's both their faults because they both knew that there's no way EA didn't know. There's no way BioWare didn't know. And they were fine with this. They were okay with this. They were cool with this. They thought it wasn't going to happen. In some retrospect, I don't care about the relationship thing because there's a big old thing about, well, this person quit BioWare, this person did this, and this person. Well, I don't care. Like, if you have people that quit, you have other people that take the position that's their responsibility to do what they're supposed to do. At the end of the day, it's their job to handle it as a whole. Both companies that are in together, It happened with Fallout 76 too. Yeah, it did. Now, and I know somebody would say this. It happened during Final Fantasy 14 also. When Final Fantasy when Final Fantasy 14 first came out on online, it was a nightmare. Okay? It had so many bugs and it was trash. So what Square Enix did, and I could be saying the wrong company, whatever, but what the company did is they took the game offline and they completely redid the whole game, and now the game's amazing. Now the game is, it's really, really good. And they even changed the name, changed the story. It's now called Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn. Now, so it could happen. Okay, same thing with No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky, had its problems, and they took it and they redid it. This could be a phoenix rising from the ashes. Maybe could be a diamond in the rough. Okay, for a diamond to be a diamond, it's got to go through a lot of torment, a lot of torture, and a lot of pressure. Okay, so same thing with a phoenix has got to die for it to rise from the ashes. Okay, so maybe this has got to die, and then maybe it could rise. Now, all I'm saying is this: I'm not touching it until I know that it's safe to touch, because I'm not that kind of streamer that can just go out and buy a new Xbox One. If you have a spare console and you're like, yo, more power to you. You know what I'm saying? More power to you. Go ahead and play your console, play your game, and hey, if it breaks the Xbox that you don't want, go ahead and play it. But I'm not playing it, and I don't encourage anybody to play it if you don't have a console, if you don't have a money or an extra console, or if you don't have the money to replace your console. Because here's the thing, they don't even know how to fix it right now. OG, like, as far as the console part of it, when it breaks the console, like, they don't know how to fix it. Like, it's just done. You're just done. Like,
Mm.
so you can't even like take it to like a place, or you can't even get it serviced. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? They
That sucks.
um I don't know. You know. Now, granted, I would laugh if it's majority of the people are just not power cycling their systems, because a lot of people feel like if you turn your PlayStation off, you're power cycling your system. You are not. You are not. When you turn your PlayStation off, you are not power cycling your system. Okay, this is where I wish I had an extra PS4 or an Xbox, because I would deliberately try to crash my system that I'm not using, and I would try to solve it for science. Um, just to figure out, because you know a lot of people don't do a trial and error thing anymore. A lot of people just feel like, okay, well, you did this, you did that, it just doesn't work. Okay, but let's really figure out how to solve the problem. Like, if I was BioWare and I was PlayStation in this, or not PlayStation, but EA in this situation, before the game even dropped, if I knew that there was a possibility that this could happen, I would have said, look, there's a small chance that this may happen. um and we were aware of this. This is how you solve the problem. We're working on an update. Please be aware that this update is taking a while to work on because of the coding, such and such and such and such and such. But do understand that if this does happen to you, your PlayStation or your Xbox or your console is not broke. This is how you solve the problem. So the problem is I have with the whole situation is that they were aware of the problem. They knew the problem. They knew they had to fix the problem, but nowhere did they say how to solve the problem for the consumer. Um,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Um,
Mm-hmm.
Nor did they alert the the they didn't alert Sony. They didn't alert Xbox saying, "Hey, this is what's gonna happen. Da, 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 da. Can we get your input on this? How can we do this to keep this from happening?" You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of precautions that companies could take as far as like doing the right thing. And in my mind, from what I understand from my research, they have it. You know what I'm saying? If I was a
Mm-hmm.
gaming developer company, I would have reached out to Sony. I would have reached out to Xbox before this game even dropped and said, "Hey, I'm
Yeah.
I'm having this problem. This is your platform. Why is my game crashing your platform? What can we do to make this not happen? Or if
Yeah.
this happens, how's the way we can solve this so people don't, for one, it doesn't fully affect our game and fully affect the consumer from being scared to play our game?" Because if if the update didn't come and I had a note from BioWare or EA saying, "Okay, yes, this is going to crash your console, but your console's not completely dead. Just do this and your console will turn back on." If I had something like that, I might take the chance. But the problem is nobody did the research. And what I
Yep.
mean by that is I mean the companies didn't do their research before releasing the game. How hard is it to reach out to Sony? How hard is it to reach out to Xbox? I mean, you've already been making the game for 4 years anyway. How hard is it to say, "Hey, we have this problem. Let's try to fix it."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What? I don't know.
And I think the reason they don't do that, I don't know if they do or not, but let's just assume that they don't. If they
Right.
don't do that, it's probably because they don't want to look bad. They're hoping that they can do what they're doing now. It gets released on time, and they all look good. Unfortunately, because this is happening now, they're looking worse. Because yeah, honestly, they should have reached out and figured out a solution. Because it's one thing for the game to crash, but to crash the console, that's a big deal. That's not cool at
Yeah,
all.
that's not cool,
Uh,
man.
So
Hey,
yeah.
boobies. Yeah. I mean, it's just not. And it's like,
Mm-mm.
and you haven't even released a statement that it's not. It's just gonna crash consoles. you know, or it's just it's just gonna crash. Uh, it's not gonna crash PCs. Like, there's nothing released. The only thing that's been released, we're aware of the issue. We're aware. Okay,
Hmm.
thank you. And it's like, I don't know, man. If this was like something like to like that wasn't gaming, like if this was serious to like, I don't know, to like some government issue or some company, like something like that, like I don't know, freaking something like with the FDA, something that found
Yeah,
something.
something maybe medical, for
Right,
example.
exactly.
Something
Like
medical.
like like an outbreak or like it would be all okay. This da, 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 da. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it has to be that serious, but when are people going to start taking gaming serious? And I'm not talking about like people that are not gamers, but when are gamers are going to start? When are developers going to start taking gaming serious? How can people that are not gamers take gaming serious when developers are not taking gaming serious? They're not.
Now, I will say that there are some very hardworking people that do make games.
Right.
Like they work long, ridiculous hours. As a matter of fact, once we're done with this topic, I'm going to bring up a huge example. But there are people in the industry who work way more than they should, pushing themselves to basically sickness for the sake of reaching a deadline and putting stuff together because that's their life. You know what
Right.
I mean?
Right.
So I mean, the people who physically work on the game, they work tirelessly. It's I think more of the executives, probably higher up, who are not necessarily as hands on, that are just making the judgment
Mm.
call that what, we're just going to release it anyway,
And
kind
that
of a
and,
thing.
and that's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. The people in the higher up situations, they're just not giving a duck. Like they're not
Mm.
giving a duck, they're not giving a goose, they're not giving a chicken. They're just like, you know what? We gotta make this money. I gotta make my money back. I've already put such and such a 8 figures into this game. I gotta get my money back. Yo, we're just gonna take a chance. Roll the dice. Roll the
Mm.
dice. See what happens. And you know, and so now you got like 18,000 people that are without a game and without consoles. 18,000 people. You just do 18,000 people times 400. $400 standard base console. That's not including anything, and that's not including the games that they bought. How many games? Like that's why when I heard about it, I went straight to Bezoid. I didn't care. I didn't care. I went straight to Bezoid chat. I was like, "Don't do it. It's defective." I did that. It was a small joke between me and OG, but I didn't do that. But I said, "Don't play Anthem." I was like, "Don't do it." Like, cause he was gonna stream Anthem, and I was like, "Bro," and they were talking about it when I went in there. I already, put it in the Discord and made sure that I told Max to tell B, but I made sure that I went in there and told him myself. I was like, "Don't do it," because I know how much money B's put into his PlayStation. I know how much time he puts in. I know how much time he's invested. I know how much he's passionate about gaming. And if his PlayStation was to break, or whatever the case may be, to break because of a game that he enjoys, yo, that's that sucks. Because not only is he out gaming, he's out $400, he's out streaming, and those things are not easy to replace.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
yeah,
true.
man, his family. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I mean, so it's like, some people, gaming is like their main source of income. So that destroys your income. Not saying, I don't know any like big streamers that are streaming. Oh well, there are some. I won't say that. I just don't know. There's not some that I watch, but you know that's a few people who could be out of a console if it happened. Yeah, I mean, frankly, I haven't met anybody. Like, I don't know anybody personally that it's happened to, but I know it's happening. It's like everywhere. There's articles everywhere. Um, it's to the point I was gonna, I wanted to save it for the podcast, but I couldn't. The good person in me couldn't do that because I was like, yeah, what if I save it for the podcast? And then I mentioned it on the podcast, and then somebody I know is out of a console, and that would that's just not how it is. But I mean, it just blows my mind that like people in like high up in the gaming industry, they don't take gaming serious like they should. And it's like, if you're not gonna be, it's the same thing with streaming. If you're not gonna take what you're doing seriously, then why even do it? Why even do it? Why put the time and energy into something if you're not gonna take it serious? If you're not gonna be passionate about it and take it serious, why do it? Why? I don't get it. I don't get it. Why waste? Why waste? Such and such time developing the game. Why waste that person's time developing the game? Why? And you know who's gonna get hurt in this in the long run? A great game. And you know what great game that is? Apex Legends. The game that saved EA is going to be uh is going to be the one that's affected. And I honestly feel like that's why the season pass isn't out yet for Apex Legends. It was supposed to be out the beginning of March. It's not. And one of the developers over Apex said, well, it hasn't been a full month yet. It hasn't been a full month since the day been out. And I don't know. Yeah, what did he say? I've read that about, but no one I know the source unless they hey, hold on. Build it somewhere. No, just them. But designs made the game pretty. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. I just feel like, EA is like, they gotta like lick their wounds. So like now they gotta put all their time and energy in figuring out, well, what are we gonna do with Anthem? Like, what are we gonna do? Do we take it offline? That's what I would do. I would just take it offline completely. What would you do in this situation if this was you?
Like, let's say if my system had broke.
No. What would you have done if this was your game, like destroying consoles? Like,
so if I was the actual company.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I was the actual, like, if I was one of the heads, I would delay it. I would just delay the release of the game. I would just say, hey, I understand that we're supposed to have this released by a certain time, but if there's a chance that people are going to be losing their console as well, I can't risk that. So I would tell Sony, Microsoft, everybody else, hey, I know we have a deadline, but to protect your clients and my clients, well, that we both share, we need to delay this until we fix this problem. As simple as that. I would just delay the game.
Okay. Now, hypothetically, let's say you're all about the money, right? And you didn't do that, right? You wanted the money and you wanted to look good for Microsoft and PlayStation. So let's say you released the game and it started doing this. What would you do in this crisis? Like, yeah, what would you do in this situation? Because I mean, it is a crisis for EA. I mean, let's be real. It's a crisis for a gaming company that was already, in that situation. What would you do? Well, if they were to remove what did Abomination say? Well, whether they remove the game after the fact, it won't matter much because people won't. Well, that's not true because that's what they did with Final Fantasy 14, and Final Fantasy 14 is doing really, really well. It could happen. No Man's Sky, it's not doing the greatest, but it's doing better than what it was. It can be done. It's just, do they want to put the time and the effort of doing it? That's the question. But okay, so
So, like, if I was a greedy person who was just in it for the money, then I just wouldn't do anything about it. I would do exactly what they're doing right now. If I was that greedy of a person. But let's say I, made the mistake of being greedy, realized the error of my ways, and everything's already happened. I would just say, all right, we need to shut down the servers. We need to get this fixed, and then we'll just re-release it later.
um,
Uh,
go ahead.
it's kind of a thing.
Abomination said Final Fantasy 14 did it break consoles? No, because Final Fantasy 14 wasn't on console. Um, but it had very serious bugs, and they had to take it off, and they had to totally remake the game, and that is why it's called Realm Reborn. Um, yeah, I actually learned that from Bezoid.
Yeah.
I didn't.
And same with No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky didn't break
Uh,
consoles either. It was just one of those releases that was very underwhelming to the masses. So
mm-hmm.
they didn't really shut down the servers. They just worked for a very long time and make it an ultimate release. And they did it about maybe a little over a year later. And now it's much better. So, I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
I'm just maybe I'm not surprised that they haven't like made an update yet. I'm just surprised that like they haven't really like gave a full response other than we're aware
yeah,
of it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, well,
Yeah,
duh,
because
I
it,
know
'cause it
you're.
makes it seem like they're not worried about it,
Oh yeah,
like,
like I already know you're freaking aware of it. What's the plan? Like, give me a like something. Like, hey, and you can't give me in-game currency. You can't give me in-game currency. That's not gonna float. You did that, Bioware. You did that with freaking with Fallout 76 when you lied to us. You gave us $5 with the in-game currency for spending $200 on something that we didn't get or whatever. Like that's not gonna work. And Abomination said, then then the cost of those games to the consumer is very low, but the cost of Anthem is exactly high because consumers can't play anything if it happens. Yeah, I know it's a tough situation. I mean, but personally, like literally like this. If I kept having friends over and I was highly contagious and I kept getting them sick, I was like, stop coming over. I'm tired of getting everybody sick, man. You know what I'm saying? Like at some point you gotta put a freaking stop to it, man. At some point. If you're I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll have to talk about this more next week. Because really we're left up in the air. I mean, being angry about it and being frustrated. I mean, personally, like I'm not angry for anything like that because I didn't put money into it. I'm more angry for the gaming community and the gamer in me because again, that it's another, that's another bad thing towards the gaming industry, man. And we don't need that, man. Like we're finally like you know what I'm saying? Like finally like
Mhm.
gaming is not being looked as like taboo as a job. It's being looked as like a real thing. Not saying that that's what gaming is about. I mean, but when back in the day when you said you wanted to be a professional gamer, people like to laugh at you. Back in the
Yeah.
day when you say you wanted to be a content creator, YouTuber, when YouTube first started when I was in high school, people laughed at you. Now it's like
Mhm.
that's cool. That's awesome. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, people on the outside are like, Psh, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
why? I don't know, man. It just blows my mind.
The only reason that I think that they're not, you know, making a bigger deal out of it is because of the percentage of people that is being affected. Because you said about what 18,000 people are
Yeah,
affected.
yeah,
If
roughly.
you have millions of people that are, played the game and only, and I hate to use the word only in this situation, but I'm trying to be an executive here. If
Yes.
only 18,000 of the 3 or 4 million people are having this problem, it's a very small percentage,
Yeah.
and that's why they're not treating it as a big issue. It's still an issue that needs to be addressed, but it's a very small percentage depending on a number of people who've actually purchased the game itself.
The problem that I have though is like
Mm,
as this very second, as me and you were having this conversation, that number's probably
mm.
growing.
Yeah, it is. I'm sure it
You
is.
know, because there's nothing.
This is a good game. You know what I mean? So more
Yeah,
people are going to look at it.
yeah, right. It's nothing being and it's already being put on sale.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So more people are gonna buy into it. A
Mm.
lot of people are not. Either they're not buying into the hype of the article, or they just don't know. And Abomination said to the business, it's a small percentage, but to the consumer, it costs over six 6 million. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know, man. It's crazy, dude. Like,
Yeah.
like to me personally, like I said, I'm afraid to touch it even after the update, if the update even happens.
Mm.
Just because, what's to say if they got it right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What's to say? What's to say? You know, I mean, you had a beta test. This is happening during the beta test, and you didn't get it right. Like, I can't trust you. I can't. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me
Mm.
though. Like, I have trust issues, anyways.
Mm.
So I'm Drake over here. Trust issues. But seriously, uh, like once you do something like that to me, it's hard, and it sucks because I love Apex Legends, but thank God, Apex Legends is made by Respawn and just developed and just being pushed by EA. But you know,
Mm.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a crazy situation, but I'm gonna go ahead and let you change subject or let you go and piggyback off what you were gonna talk about.
Oh yeah,
C-
definitely.
c-
So as far as people who work really hard in making games, there is a specific person named Masahiro Sakurai. Now, for those who might be like, "Wait, that name sounds familiar,"
Yeah, I was
he's
gonna say that
basically
sounds
the
familiar.
creative mind behind Smash Brothers.
Mm.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, a really good video that I would recommend y'all to watch as a history thing. The Gaming Historian actually did a video about this guy in particular and the contribution and basically what he had to go through with some of the older Smash Brothers games. It's a really good like video, good like history over this guy, and you'll kind of appreciate how hard he works. But
Hold
there was a
on
recent
one
video.
second. Let me
Go
let
ahead.
me let me read this comment. Goosenator says, "I hope that future developers learn from Bethesda and BioWare, EA/EA, that gamers now will call out a crappy game, and it hurts them." I mean, yeah. I mean, there's a yeah. I mean, you would think that was the reason. What was it? Episode. I want to say like episode 30. We were doing a thing about like that's why a lot of people don't send review copies to people anymore because they know the power of the gamer can make or break their game. Uh, you know, uh, that's why we have to be careful. Like, this is when gamers should voice their opinion, right? This is when gamers need to be heard. This is when action needs to be taken. But when it's just an opinion on a game like Call of Duty, just because you don't like hit detection and stuff like that, and you like feel like nobody should play this game because like either there's really you know you just don't know the learning curve, or you don't understand server PvP server stuff like. But like there's a thin line that has to be like, gamers do have the power and gamers should have the power, but we as gamers need to learn to use that power responsibly. But yes, I do agree with you that, I hope that, EA should be learning from this anyway, though, Goose. This is the problem. EA and BioWare gaming, they should already. We do realize EA got the worst developing or the worst company award 2 years in a row, and because of this situation, they're probably gonna put all the blame on EA, which is stupid. Like I said before, it it's on both. You know, when situations happen in a relationship, whether it's a physical relationship or business relationship, and stuff happen, it's not one party, it's both. You lose the race together, you lose together, you win together. It's not it's not oh, well, it's all BioWare's fault, oh, it's all EA's fault. No, it's both of their faults. But it sucks that us, because we already know that EA hasn't been on you know the greatest light, as per se, as far as with microtransactions, with Fallout, Battlefront 2, all these things. A lot of people and a lot of critics, you're gonna see a lot of videos that come out that are just gonna be trashing EA, and it sucks. And or a lot of videos that just come out and just trash the other company, and it sucks because it's not both. And it's not one or the other, it's both. And it's not one should take the full blame for the situation, in my opinion. Again, this is my opinion. You know I But I'm kind of like looking at it from like the more logical standpoint, you know that it's both people. But go ahead. Sorry, OG.
No, you're good. You're good. That was a good comment to address. That's perfectly fine.
Yes.
But yes, one of the most hardworking people, him and tons of others, I'm sure, uh, Mr. Sakurai, in a recent interview, he actually revealed that he uses an IV drip to keep working while he's sick.
What the flip?
Yeah. Um, Now, if you want more of a background of this guy, I highly recommend looking up YouTube channel for the Gaming Historian.
Uh
And
huh.
I think there is a thing where he either talks about Smash Brothers or he talks about Sakurai in the title. It's one of the two, but he basically goes into history and how hard he worked for the company back then.
Mhm.
But as far as now, it says we have also known that Super Smash Bros. Creator Masahiro Sakurai is an example of someone who works ridiculously hard and pushes himself both mentally and physically to a point that most people wouldn't be able to cope with. I'll go ahead and read you the interview. So
Mhm.
Sakurai says, "Well, actually, yeah, I still had a lot of stomach problems." The interviewer says, "You did and laughs," and Sakurai's like, "Yeah, a ton." So the interviewer says, "What do you do when that sort of thing happens?" I actually had a case of something himself recently. And Sakurai says, "Yeah, that sounds rough. When you have got symptoms like food poisoning, you definitely have to go to the hospital, right? I've had that situation once or twice before during development. It was like I got food poisoning from some oysters that I didn't even eat." And the guy in the interview is like, "Even though you hadn't eaten," and he laughs. Sakurai then continues saying, "It was like my food had come into contact with them or something, but I cooked my food thoroughly. Why did I get sick?" Interviewer makes a comment, and then Sakurai says, "No, I don't. I just get an IV drip and go to work like normal." And then
That's
the interviewer says,
crazy.
"Yeah." The interviewer says, "Are you serious?" And Sakurai says, "Yeah, I guess I'm a hard worker. And then I'm a freelancer, so I don't have any strict rules on my time. As long as I can complete the game, I could show up to the office once per week, and I think it'd be within the realm of forgiveness. But instead, I make sure I come to work every day and write proper daily reports and such. I'm
Is
always
that
working."
legal?
If the company is not forcing you to, yeah, it's legal.
No, but I mean, is it legal to just go and just like, can I go right now and buy an IV and the medication that needs to go in the drip?
There are people who have IV drips in their homes for certain situations.
That's
Now, I
crazy.
don't know.
That is
uh,
nuts, dude.
Yeah, I don't know if Again, I mean, this is a completely different country, so
Right.
their rules may be different from ours. But yeah, this person works super duper hard,
That's.
and
Go ahead. Sorry, I was gonna be funny. Go ahead. Sorry, I apologize.
this is no, you're good, but this is really why, like, sometimes, in some of the more minor situations, and I'm not talking about the one previously, because what we talked about is kind of a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
But for a lot of the smaller things that we complain about, we should really be a little more lenient because
Mm.
these people work very hard for you to trash what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like this person right here is a workaholic and does way more than he should to make sure a good Smash Brothers comes out,
That's why. That's why.
and yet
That's
he'll
why I
knock the
get
ball
mad when
over on
people just start like complaining about a game because it sucks. You know what I'm saying? That have that have strong influencing power. You know what I mean? Or, you know, like when streamers do that, when streamers bash a game that, like, just because it's an opinion because they don't like it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, because first off, you don't know what it took to make the game. You don't sit behind the game. You don't know how many hours it took to you know to build a game. It's the same thing why you should never go and do another stream as a streamer and bash that streamer. You don't know how much work they've tried to do to put the content together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like for instance, like me and OG the night before, like we're cramming for the podcast. We don't write anything down, but our brain is like fresh for today. You know, like we put in a lot of work. Sometimes we don't have a lot of content. That's strictly because there's not a lot going on.
Yeah.
Or there might be a lot of going on, but there's just a lot of stuff like we don't think that is really, you know, something to be talked about, or, you know, just an inch, because if it doesn't interest us, we're not going to talk about it. We don't care if it interests the community or whatever. I mean, I won't say my community, but we won't say, like, if it's like something that like interests the gaming community, like big, like, or crazy, like if it's something like something like we're not crazy about, we won't talk about it. I mean, is that fair to say?
Yeah, because the thing is if we're not really like passionate about what we're talking about, it shows when we're discussing it. So it
Right.
kind of makes our content, not as
It
good,
makes it
not
flat.
as
It makes
legitimate.
it flat, and
Yeah,
we can't flow together. You know what I'm saying?
right.
But and you know, I don't know, man. It's crazy that, like, you know, and I totally agree with you. Like, it sucks that when people just go and they just bash on like companies, and we just don't know how hard they work. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's one thing to say that, yeah, this game's not really that interesting to me. It's just not my thing, and you move on.
Right.
But to focus on why you think it's just trash is kind of, a thing. Now, if you're talking about something that's not fair, like for example, I'm going to talk about me bashing Final Fantasy 15: A New Empire. Now, when I bash it, I'm not actually saying that the game is bad, because actually
Right.
the game is awesome. The game is fantastic. There's a reason I played the game for a year. The problem I had was the money practices, the monetization stuff, where you were basically forced to spend money instead of being able to grind to get certain buildings to protect yourself well and things of that nature. And I just thought that was not fair for the person who can't afford to spend tons of money on the game and just lose everything every time they log in because they didn't have the money to build really well. You know what I mean? So it's in that situation, I'm preaching against bad practices, bad business practices.
Right. Yeah.
Not necessarily the game itself, because again, I think the game is actually really good. It's one of the best Final Fantasy mobile games I've actually played. It's not
Right.
the best, but it's up there in my opinion.
Right.
It's just unfortunately their money practices are just terrible and not fair.
Right. It's just like with me. Like I and I get a lot of, and I see what you said, Abomination. I'm not gonna read it out loud because it's a lot, but I understand what you're saying. But and what I'm saying is, even though like a lot of, like, even though like we don't, like, our community really doesn't get influenced by a lot what some person says, but a lot of people do, unfortunately. Like, it's just how it is. Like, we were talking about it in the beginning of the show about, and it's funny because that's like pretty much been like
The theme.
the theme is do your own research. And it's funny how, like, that's all this show has been about, is people need to do their own research instead of just following what other people are saying. As much as we can sit there and say that it doesn't happen, it happens a lot. It happens a lot, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because, and here's why. Because people with a big following necessarily don't have a standard to follow, and so therefore, you know, they could pretty much say what they want, and a lot of people will believe that and think that it's, you know, they think it's the holy grail. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just how it is, man. It's it's just how it is. It really is. Like, for, you know, it's why companies do what they do to get people to have a big following and to get them to have their company on their whatever, because they know that if such and such is sponsored by such and such, oh, automatically that person's gonna check that out because such and such drinks this, such and such eats this, such and such uses this computer, such and such uses this kind of controller. Okay, well, if I want to be as good as such and such, I need to go get this controller. It is it right? No, but it's just how majority of the world works, man. It's just, and that's why I say with great power comes responsibility, and that whether you're a big streamer or a small streamer, man, you have to understand that great power comes responsibility. So you have to be careful what you say, how you say it, what you do, how you do it, what you get involved in, what you don't get involved in. You have to be careful when you are in public eye. That's just in my opinion though. And that's why I'm very careful with what moves I make and stuff like that. But yeah, I was gonna make the joke that dang next 24-hour stream, like I'm gonna totally get a 24. I'm gonna get an IV drip. That way I stay hydrated.
Yep.
I'm gonna stay hydrated.
Yep.
In my 20.
Of course.
Yeah, got to do it. And then I'm gonna have a Pepsi right
Mhm.
next to me. Actually, I'm gonna get an IV drip of a Pepsi. There we go.
Oh, God.
Pepsi injected in the veins is probably not the greatest thing to do. Honestly, don't do
Oh, it's probably terrible. Oh yeah. By the way, have you seen the energy drinks that have resealable caps now?
Yeah.
Like the cans are
Yes,
resealable?
yes, I've actually tried it.
Yeah, they actually have them at sale on Family Dollar of all places. I didn't think they had them.
Really?
They're really at the front of the counter.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know they had them at Family Dollar. I've been getting mine at Walmart.
yeah, they actually have well, at least the Family Dollar where I'm at. I'm assuming they would have it where you're at too, but yeah, like you can get them there as well.
Interesting. Have you
But for
tried
those
it?
of you who want to, I haven't tried. I don't really do those kind of drinks myself.
Mm-hmm.
I just stick to Powerade and Pepsi.
Okay.
That's kind of like my thing.
Okay.
But I think it's a cool concept. I think that if you are the type to drink those kind of drinks, the resealable like cans is actually a great idea. I like it.
By the way, he's talking about Mountain Dew's what is it called? Game Fuel.
Yeah, Game Fuel.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've tried the regular and I've tried the red. Right now the red's my favorite.
Mm.
The best way to compare it to, and I didn't think I liked it at first, but I started enjoying it after I went to New Mexico because I
Hmm.
drank some on the way to New Mexico. Normally, when I drink a Monster Energy drink, I crash or I have the jitters. This didn't give me the jitters. Also, Rogue Energy doesn't give you the jitters. But anyway, back to what we're talking about. The um, it's because it's got juice in it. It's actually got like actual juice. Like it's not. I thought it was gonna be more like a soda, but it doesn't have carbonation like a soda. I mean, it does. Oh,
Mm.
well, let me rephrase that. It does have carbonation like a soda, but it's very, very little. If you drink a Monster Energy drink, uh, can you move? Can Yeah, I know my cat moved it earlier. Let me move it. Hold on, give me a second. Wait, wrong way. Okay, maybe that'll work. So like here's the thing, like it's kind of like I don't want to say a flat soda because it then nobody likes flat
That just
soda,
sounds bad. Yeah.
right? um I am blaming the cat. The cat free roams now. He doesn't stay in the room at night anymore. uh but yeah, dang it, Ninja. Yeah, I know. He's been a character lately. But I mean, I don't know. It's a less fizzier of a soda. Like if you didn't like Monster Energy because it's like really like carbonated, then this is the one for you. Now again, it doesn't give you the rush like Monster Energy does either. I just liked it because when I was on the 14-hour road trip with my wife, or 13-hour, 12, however long, like I didn't end up falling asleep. I ended up staying awake and I ended up rejuvenated or whatever. You know, so I enjoyed it. It was a good drink. It was a good
That's
drink.
good.
It was a good drink. But in all other cases, if I was to really drink energy drink, I drink Rogue Energy. Use code Handy, 10% off.
Go handy. You
Um,
heard that right.
and
Go handy.
I did that for the what is it, ASM community. I whispered it to you guys so you guys can enjoy it. Definitely, man.
Hmm.
Still though, man, a freaking IV drip, dude.
Yeah.
That's serious,
IV dripping it up, bro.
dude. I don't even want to tell my wife about that. She'll want to take an IV drip to work.
Yeah, yeah. If you're a workaholic, yeah, that's definitely something you would consider. And I have an idea of how this guy feels. Not that I've done anything near as extreme as him, but I used to be a workaholic at one time. There was a time in my life where I went to work 6, 7 days a week just to catch up on other people's work that they didn't finish.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I took my job way too seriously. Granted, yes, I got paid overtime and everything, but it really got to the point to where I was really neglecting, family, friends, and stuff, like relationships, and it just wasn't. It's not good to overwork yourself. It really isn't. You're better off just doing your regular 40 or however long you normally work, with some
Mm-hmm.
occasional overtime if need be, because maybe you're like understaffed or something. But other than
Mm-hmm.
that, you shouldn't have to push nowhere near as severe as a lot of workaholics do.
Mm-hmm.
And this is coming from an ex-workaholic, so
And
I understand.
I'll reiterate. I say the same thing with streaming. Yes, I have not blown up as maybe as much as I should because I don't put in 10-hour days, you know, you know, like this. But like a lot of streamers do that are trying to grow. But in retrospect, it's better for my mental health. Uh, Not only for my body in general, but just in gaming. Like, could you imagine playing a game 15 hours a day, 20 hours a day, 10 hours a day? Yeah, I do that sometimes off stream, but if I did that every day on stream, like you would get burnt out. And I feel like that's why how a lot of streamers get burnt out. A lot of the top streamers get burnt out because they get, you know, they want to keep their numbers and all that stuff. At some point in time, you just got to let go of the numbers, man. Like, for instance, yesterday was probably one of my slowest days in streaming in a long time. Hey, it is what it is, man. You just have fun and have a good time. And no, I'm not reading that out loud, Abomination. Can't do it. Uh, can't do it. But you gotta like I've always said, streaming is kind of like owning a bar. You know, sometimes you have really, really, really fast, really good days, and some days end up really slow. It depends. It all depends. You just gotta ride. But it doesn't mean because you're you're booming. It's crazy. Like think about it like this, right? Just because you are receiving more business doesn't mean you keep your business open longer. Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Like, for instance, what's like when you like a top restaurant right now, right? Like it's booming right now. Well, because they got like all these people that are like coming in and they got lines out. Do they stay open? Do they stay open until another time? No, they close still, tell people to come back, and they come back tomorrow.
Mm-mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? What's my happy hour drink specials? Rogue Energy, Rogue Energy, and the way you get the price off is you use code Handy. um, that's my and coffee and tacos. Those are my specials. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and why do you do that? Because it keeps people coming back. Now I can't say that like that's work because I mean sometimes that works for me, sometimes it doesn't. But you just can't allow that to affect you. You got to still keep going because you want. And you're like, Handy, why are you talking about? Because I had a couple of viewers come to me personally and said, Handy, We missed you talking about stream tips in the podcast. And then I had another person the other day that said, Handy, why don't you give streamer advice on YouTube? And so, I mean, I'm like this. Why not just reiterate it, in the podcast while we talk about the podcast? Abomination said streaming for 8 hours for 5 to 7 days a week while trying to maintain the same energy the whole time must be killer. Yo, I mean, really honestly, like, yeah, like you can't, there's no way I can maintain the yo for 8 hours a day, 7 days a week. Like that's rough. Not only rough, but that's like rough on you, like your voice. Like my voice wouldn't be able to do it. Like during my 24-hour streams, y'all hear me like this, and then like I have to take 2 to 3 days off, not because I'm burnt out, but because my body. You got to take care of your body. Oh my God, Chico tacos. No, I get homemade tacos, or I go to one of our places, which is Taco Sensation. Shouts out to Taco Sensation. We're not.
They have been doing me good lately. I've been going to Los Arcos lately.
Yes.
Taco Sensation, for some reason, doesn't like to answer their phone when I try to order, or be at the front of the counter when I show up.
Oh.
So I've been going to Los Arcos lately.
I don't know where my wife goes, but I get my good potato and bacon tacos. Yes, you heard this right. Handy likes potato and bacon, and yes, I've been getting potato and bacon tacos for years now. Ask this man. It's my taco of choice. I used to drink it with a Pepsi. Now it is a vanilla bean sugar and cream iced coffee from Dunkin' Donuts. Best coffee. Starbucks, not so much. I saw Starbucks messed up your name. Deweet.
Yes, I posted this on Facebook. I went to Starbucks I guess it was about a week ago, maybe two. And, they asked for what my name was. I told them my name, which is Dwight, like, the dead President Eisenhower or Dwight Yoakam, whatever, you can remember it. DWIGHT. And when I told them that, the guy asked me again to repeat it, so I repeated it. And I was like, okay, cool, gotcha. And so they gave me my order, and they completely spelled my name wrong. They spelled it DWATT. So it's as if, like, the person was from the country trying to say my name, so it looked like, what? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I used to spell it. I used to spell it when I was younger. I used to spell it D-A White. The White. I mean.
So, yeah, Starbucks did kind of mess up my name. So I had to post it on Facebook because I don't really post on Facebook a lot. So when something like interesting happens is usually what I post. So I did that. And of course, a lot of people commented and, did a little things. But
he's lying. He does cool. Facebook Live videos. He actually streams his games on Facebook.
That was a one-time thing. And the one-time only.
But I'm not lying. You did do it. You did Hearthstone. You did Hearthstone.
I did Hearthstone. Okay. I did Hearthstone one time.
Goosenator said, I think if I stream 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, I'd get bored. And that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. It is because, you know what it is? And I'm just going to be real. I'm going to be real. And I'm going to be 100% real. And, this is either going to, just be real. People get addicted to the rush. And you can say, Handy, what's the rush? People get addicted to the sub trains. They get addicted to the host. They get addicted to the biddies. They get addicted to, the donations. And what I mean, I don't mean, I'm saying this. Say, for instance, if somebody came in and dropped, 20,000 biddies in, $2,000, which if someone did, donate $2,000 right now, any donations do get split between me and OG during the podcast, just so you guys know. So if I became rich, OG would become rich. That's just how I am. But anyway, people get addicted to that rush, and so they're like, oh, I'm gonna keep going. oh, we reached 30,000 subs. I'm gonna reach 40,000 subs tomorrow, and it's like, I get that, I understand it. I've been there, and that's why I'm not, I can speak from experience. But as much as it's cool and I get it, it wears on your mind mentally, and that's where you slip up and you say things you shouldn't say, you do stupid stuff you shouldn't do, you take pictures of your butt. No, I'm just kidding. There was a streamer that actually got banned last week for taking a picture of their butt sweat. It was interesting, but uh, so I mean, that's, you got to take care of yourself first. I always say this: if you can't be 100% of the best, if you can't be the best version of yourself while you're streaming, then you shouldn't stream.
Mm-hmm.
You want good coffee? You should take a trip up here. Yo, I'm down. He said, I saw people extend streams because people would stop because people would stop donating, and this kept going and begging people to stop so you can. And I'm not saying, like, I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm just saying you're gonna feel it after a while. I mean, I've done it before. People have hosted me with like so many viewers, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna keep going, but guess what, I was tired. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't stop donating. You know what I mean? So I mean, again, it's up to you how you want to do it. But at the end of the day, your mental health is more important. Your health is more important, because yeah, that was cool for that 20 hours you streamed, but what about tomorrow? What are you gonna do tomorrow? You know what I'm saying? What are you gonna do tomorrow, man? So, protect yourself. Protect yourself.
Mm-hmm.
What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. Oh, speaking of which, so I was being bored, and I was randomly looking up apps on Xbox, because I was on the what was on the Xbox? Oh, I was uninstalling Anthem actually. um, and I wanted to show my wife my clip, right? But I didn't want to show her on the phone. I don't know if you've seen it, but I did this like clip of me playing Apex Legends like this week. Was really cool
Okay.
because I did all the editing on my phone. Original mobile gamer guy. I did all the video
Nice.
editing on my phone. Did all the graphics on my phone. All that, and I was able to share it on Instagram. Was shared it to everything. That's one reason why I use Instagram now, because it shares it to Twitter and Facebook simultaneously. But anyway, that's besides the point. So there is an app on the Microsoft Store called Facebook Watch, and I was like, interesting. So I downloaded it, and of course you get to see all the videos you posted. All the um the Facebook Live videos. But guess what I finally found?
What's that?
The Facebook gaming section.
Uh-oh.
Yes, of streamers gaming. So this is their Twitch app. I was actually really shocked. So it was really interesting. Now, I haven't been able to find this app per se on any other platform as far as mobile. Well, I haven't really looked, honestly. I did look on PlayStation. It is not on PlayStation, which I found to be interesting. The only console I've been able to find it on is on PlayStation. But yeah, and I was actually watching streamers on Facebook without having to look through it through my phone. Pretty interesting.
Huh. Pretty cool.
Facebook Watch. It was cool. No different. The only thing was, and this is where they dropped the ball on the app, you can't chat from it. Can't chat from it.
Okay.
So, I mean,
So it has its limitations.
yeah, it has big limitations as far as that. Because I mean, what's the point if you can't? That's the whole part of like watching a streamer, is being able to interact with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At least for me, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
At least for me.
As far as like a live thing, yeah, I get
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I mean, unless you're like a big streamer and like you have 100,000,000 viewers or something, and I know you're probably not gonna pay attention to me. But if you do pay attention to me, then I'm even more shocked because I'm like, oh my god, he said hi to me, and he has like 30,000 viewers. How the freak he pick out my name? You know what I'm saying?
He knows.
He noticed. I mean, I'm being real. I mean, you can't sit there and say y'all ain't done it like that. I mean, it's just being real, you know.
Yeah,
And it's pretty cool. But I mean, the fact that they don't have that is like really surprising. To where
yeah.
you can chat and communicate. You actually have to use your phone, and it's like, well, if I have to use my phone to chat, then what's the point? Uh,
Well, I guess the way that they see it is that you have something bigger to watch everything on, and then you just use your phone to talk, so you don't have to like miss something. I guess I don't know.
yeah, I
There,
guess.
I'm sure there's a reason.
I'm sure there is, but I thought that was pretty cool. That's my little side
Yeah,
quest. But if you want to
pretty
go ahead and
cool.
drop knowledge, or if you're good, let me know. But
Well, there's one more thing I do want to talk about because I'm a numbers guy, and I mean I'm always looking for good stats and stuff.
mm-hmm.
Um, on the Nintendo website that I go to for my news, they release sales data for the top 30 selling games for console. Now, these top 30 games do not include Microsoft games. These are all PS4 and Nintendo Switch games.
Interesting.
Um, and they weren't being biased. They did allow PlayStation on here as well. As a matter of fact, the most selling, and this is between December 31st up until January 27th.
Mm-hmm.
So this isn't like an all-time thing. This is just for the past month. Because
Mm-hmm.
remember last week I did the mobile version. This
Mm-hmm.
is the actual console version.
Mm-hmm.
And what's cool about this particular article, and I've already posted it in the breaking news section of the Discord for those who
Yeah,
haven't.
I saw it.
Uh,
I saw it.
the cool thing about this particular article is they even broke it down between physical copies and digital copies, which
Wow.
I thought was awesome.
Wow.
Because I mean, you always go back and forth between digital versus physical,
Mm-hmm.
but most of the games on here, more sales were done physical than digital.
Wow.
There are only like two or three. I'll tell you the two or three games that had more digital, since they're a smaller amount, and you'll be able to appreciate this.
Mm-hmm.
Let me find them real quick. So let's see. The first one that I can find here, as far as more digital than physical, would be, let's see. Oh, I know I just had him too. So I might have to go look again. Oh, here he goes. PUBG.
Hmm. You know what's
Yeah, they.
funny? You know what's funny?
Um,
I don't mean to cut you off, but you know what's funny? I I uh had a phone conversation with somebody. Well, first of all, I had a kid join in my chat party chat the other day,
mhm,
and I had to like kick him out, and I thought it was my friend's son on Facebook, right? And it was a funny story because the kid came in the party and he was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna stay here for a while," and I'm like, no, you're not, no, you're not."
mhm,
And so I kicked him out, and I was like, "Oh crap!" I was like, "I think that's my friend's son, right?" Because I recognized the name, and so I messaged him and I was like, "Yo, dude, like, I'm sorry, but I had to like rudely kick your son out," and he was like, "Oh, that's not my," he's like, "That wasn't me, and that's not my kid," and I was like, "Oh." And so I left it at that, right? And so like I didn't know, you know, you know, whatever. And this dude like he started talking to me about PUBG Mobile. And so
huh,
it was funny. Like we had like a 35 probably minute conversation about PUBG Mobile and how he really enjoys PUBG Mobile. And you know,
yeah,
I didn't, you know, I said, you know, I try to enjoy PUBG on console, but you know, I don't I can't play it on console because it doesn't work for me.
yeah,
But I mean, as far as I know, the best systems that it runs on is PC and mobile. You know, I didn't talk mess about the game because when somebody's passionate about something, you don't talk mess about it, man. Like you let them enjoy
yeah.
it and
Let them have fun with it.
let
Yeah,
them have fun with it. Like I was happy to see that he was really like enjoying the game and he was doing well and he's really excited about the game. He's actually, throwing money at the game, and he said the reason why he threw money at the game is because he really enjoys the game, and and he wants to support the game. And that's when you should throw microtransactions. You shouldn't feel like you have to throw microtransactions. But if you feel like you really enjoy the game, regardless of whatever the game is, if you really enjoy the game and you want to support the game, that's how you do it, and that's why you do it. But yeah, I just thought that was really cool that you brought that up because that was funny.
Yeah. I mean, believe it or not, like PUBG is a thing, especially for mobile. Now, obviously, these are console sales that I'm talking about, but yeah, I mean, PUBG still exists. As a matter of fact, it was actually number 16 of the top 30 sales.
That's crazy.
For the last month. Yeah, it's still relevant. So physical was only a little over 10K, and then digital was over 36K. So that's like how big of a difference it was.
Huh.
Yeah, privilege. I thought you might appreciate that, though.
Yeah.
And then another game that had more digital than physical would have been Dead by Daylight for PS4.
Wow. Yeah, everybody says I need to get that game, but it's just not for me. But
yeah, it has a little over 7K for physical and over 16K for digital.
Oh wow, dang.
Yeah,
that's funny. That's funny. That's funny that Xbox is not included in this, and I'll explain why after, because I can piggyback off this. I just thought of a side quest story, but keep going.
No, you're good. But actually, those are the only two. There is a third one, but it doesn't count because there were no physical copies. It was just digital only. But I'll go ahead and bring it up since it is on the list at the top 30. So that would be Together the Battle Cats for Nintendo Switch.
Never heard of that in my life.
I've never heard of it either, but I think this is a game that's digital only. It might be one of those like Nintendo Online things. But it sold 96,000 copies.
Dang.
Digital, and it was actually number 10 in the top 30 selling games of the past month.
Dang, that is crazy. That's a lot of freaking money.
Yeah, for a game I've never heard of. Yeah,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. For a game that I don't know, that's like never been on my radar. That like when I think of that game, I think of Thundercats, Roar, the old cartoon. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's nuts. That's nuts.
But to get into more games that you're more familiar with, I mean, although you were for those other ones I mentioned already, but Battlefield 5 was number 29.
Interesting. Actually, for
PS4.
Huh.
Okay. Cool. And then another one that we've talked about before, Yakuza 4, which is weird because I think the 6 was already out, but Yakuza 4 for PS4 was number 24 on the list.
Maybe it's like one of those like that's like the best series, like the best game out of the series.
Yeah, that could be what it is. Black Ops 4 was number 23.
Wow. Go Black Ops 4.
Yeah, for PS4. Yeah, Black Ops 4 was number 3. Super Mario Odyssey for the Switch was 21. Let's see. And I'm a fan of the Tales game. So Tales of Vesperia, which is the new one for the Switch, was number 19. We already mentioned PUBG. Zelda Breath of the Wild for the Switch was number 15. Let's see.
Oh, hold on. Sorry, chat. I didn't know you guys were talking. My chat was froze. I didn't even know. So I know to type faster on my phone than use the PS4. I apologize, guys. For me, at least. Yeah, I use voice dictation on my phone. Cause what we playing tonight when I get off? I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. I think the Division beta is still out. I'm not sure. Abomination said, yeah, not for everyone. Okay, yeah, I don't know, man. I can't. I'm sorry. I thought I had the thing up and I didn't have it up all the way and it was just sitting there. I just realized when my camera, I was like, why is my camera not moving? And then I realized that I did something stupid, because I was trying to check on some more news, and that's funny because I get to piggyback off the story. But go ahead. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, no problem. You're good. Splatoon 2 is number 11 for the Switch, which I think is a pretty cool game. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, number 7.
That's not the new one, right? That's the old one or the new one?
I think that's the Let's see, Mario Kart 8 is the newest one, but it says deluxe, so I don't know if it's something different or not.
The
I mean,
newer edition.
yeah, something like that. So, but yeah, I mean, it was number 7. Mario Party, of all things, for the Switch is number 6.
Dude, Mario Party. I don't care what anybody say, man. Mario Party is a dope game, and when I get a Switch,
It is
we're
fun.
playing Mario Party on stream. I don't care what anybody say.
Mario Party is fun. I've always enjoyed when we used to play together. Absolutely.
Get at me, bro. Get at me,
Oh yeah.
dude.
Uh,
If you get a Switch, we're playing Mario Party together on stream.
oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Super Smash Brothers Ultimate was actually number 2.
Of course.
Um, yeah, number 2, not number 1, but number 2 for the Switch. And the number 1 game, which was actually PS4 who stole the show, was Kingdom Hearts 3.
I actually have that on the Xbox.
Yep. But those are just, if I'm not gonna go through all 30 of them, but that's kind of an idea of the numbers that were hitting in January. What the highlight was as far as sales are concerned. This is where the
That's
money
funny.
talk.
That's funny because let me tell you why that's funny that you mentioned all and because I'm really surprised Xbox wasn't in the article because Xbox just announced that their next version of the Xbox One is going to be discless. Like like so you know how they have the Xbox One S and the Xbox One X,
Yeah.
the X whatever. They they have announced that the next version of the Xbox One, uh, before they release the next gen of Xboxes, is going to be discless. So you can only get it digital.
Wow.
So you can only get digital games. Booby said, "I would love to play Mario Party with you." Yo, I'm telling y'all, man. One day, Handy's gonna have a Switch, and we gonna play Mario Party, and we are gonna have the time of our lives. I love that game. I
Mhm.
There's a lot of games that on the Switch that I'm gonna love. It's gonna be there's gonna be three games for sure. I'm getting Mario Party, um, Smash Brothers, and one's not even gonna cost me anything, and that's Tetris 99. And then the
Mhm.
other ones will be hit and miss for me. We'll see. But yeah, I was like actually surprised. That's why I said I was surprised that Xbox wasn't in the running for that. Because like that's their main focus right now is running a discless console. Okay. Oh, you're waiting to give me. You're wanting to give me uh opportunity to steal to to steal your stars. You can't steal my stars. When Handy Killcam gets a Switch, we will get one too. Man, yo, that's what's up. Say no more, fam. You say a Switch? Yeah, I want a Switch. I've been wanting a Switch really, really bad. But like I said in the beginning of the podcast, like there's two reasons why I can't put up a donation goal. Cause one, March 25th, we're doing a donation stream for the Cerebral Palsy Foundation. So I don't want to do that. And two, we already have somebody in our community doing a Switch donation goal, and I don't want to be like, yo, donate to mine too, like, because I'd rather that person get all the love because I know they really want it too. I've been wanting one for a while also, and I'd just rather be patient. Be patient. It's just not the right time to do a donation goal for it. And the reason why I brought it up is because somebody was like, when you gonna do it? When you gonna do it? Gotta. What if I just bought you one? I mean, that's up to you, bro. I'm not gonna tell you. You know, if you bought me one, that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy, man. Like that's up to you. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm always thinking about the other person, and sometimes that gets me in trouble, and because it gets misunderstood. But I'm always thinking about the other person. Put myself I'll put myself behind and think of the other person before anything like that. Like And, that's how I am. Goose, yeah, yo, that you do that, man. That's on you, brother, man. I don't know how I would ever. So much you've done for me, Goose. I can never repay you. I know we family. We love each other. You want me to do the rubber band trick? I can never do the rubber band trick on stream. For one, I forgot how I used to do it, and for two, that would probably get me banned on Twitch. So, Goosenator reminded me of this trick. I used to when we were all cool. Well, we're all still cool, but back when the family all used to get together at my grandparents' house, my grandfather had these rubber bands, like these thick rubber bands, and I would put them on my head, and somehow I would work the rubber band from my head all the way down to around my neck with not using any hands. I would use my face muscles and my mouth, and somehow I would get it from my head all the way to my neck. I don't know how I used to do it. I can't do it now. But every time me and Goosenator talk, he'd be like, "Man, you just gotta do that trick just one time on stream, man. One time on stream." I'm like, "Bro, I don't even know if I can still do it. I don't know if I can still do it, and I'd probably die trying to do it." You almost. I know I almost passed out. Yeah, I remember. I remember doing it now, and I remember the first time I did it. I remember the first time I did it. Now that you brought it out, over your. Yeah, over my ears. Yes. Yeah, over my ears. Can you do anything with ping pong balls? I mean, is that I don't know. No, I've never messed with ping. Let me make sure I say this correctly. I've never messed with ping pong balls. I've never messed with it. So the idea is when I do get a Switch, that Saturday evenings, or not Saturday evenings, but Wednesday evenings, I'll probably do like an hour to 2 hour stream, and we'll do a stream, cause like that's when OG will have one day. OG will have a Switch, and we'll be able to do some stuff. And I'm gonna call it Smash Wednesdays, cause Smash is what we gonna be playing. He can crush ping pong balls. Yo, now you be telling all my secrets. Now you telling all my secrets, Goose. What are you doing now for, bro? Don't be telling my secrets. GameStop is stupid. They're selling used switches for $20 less than new. Who wouldn't spend $20 to get $20 more to get a new one? Yeah, I know. That's why freaking Target because I was gonna get one for my wife was thinking about getting one for Christmas, because we don't really surprise each other much, because really honestly my wife's my transportation. I mean, so it's not like I can be like, "Yo, I'm gonna go out and get your gift," you know what I mean? So we pretty much just like let each other know she was gonna give me one. You need me to take? You should know my address. It's the same one. I need you to text me your address ASAP. Alright, I got you, cuz. I'll text you my address as soon as we're done with the podcast. Crew Dog, I had to see what it was gonna cost us when Andy Killcam gets his. LOL. Yo, I'm down, man. We're gonna play Mario Party. We're gonna play Smash, and we're gonna play. Well, y'all gonna see me play freaking Tetris 99. Okay, cause yeah, I'm doing Tetris Battle Royale. I don't care what anybody say. Judge me all you want. I'm playing Tetris Battle Royale. I used to love Tetris. Me and this boy used to play Tetris against each other all the time. Now, he used to kick my butt, just like he used to kick my butt in chess, but a man does evolve and grows. I think I can beat him in chess now. Just saying. But anyway, as he laughs with his evil laugh from Nintendo as Bowser. Just saying. But I don't even know what we were talking about now. What were we talking about?
Well, we were just talking about like the top 30 games, and you mentioned how Microsoft's not on that list because they're making their new Xbox is going to have basically
Oh
no
yeah,
disc.
yeah. It's gonna have like no discs. So like, all you people that are like hungry to get discs, or disc collectors, if you get just don't get this Xbox. But I don't know. It's curious to see what the Xbox Two. Because think about it like this: if they get people used to the idea now, what is the Xbox Two gonna be? And so apparently, there's gonna be talked about in E3. So we'll see the Xbox Two. Oh, it's on. Love Mario Party and Kart looks fun too. Oh, I'm down to play Mario Kart.
Oh yeah,
But
all day.
but Mario Party is not as fun as without. Yeah, no, you cannot play Mario Party by yourself.
Yeah, you need friends. You need friends to play with for
Even
sure. For
even
sure.
even even grinding the achievements. Because I think you tried grinding the achievements once on the 64 to get the certain things. And
Yeah, I did do like some of the single player stuff to try to collect everything, and it did get kind of boring after a while. I'm not gonna lie. I like just playing with friends, really.
yeah, and the beautiful thing is you can stream the Switch because the dock that it comes with. Here's for people that don't know, because I've already done my research. Because I did my own research. That's the title of today. Do your own research. Don't
Yep.
rely on somebody else to do it for you. Um, so like the little charging dock that comes, the dock basically that HDMI hooks into your TV, right? Well, you could do the same thing how you hook up to the Elgato. So I can easily hook up the Switch to the Elgato. So the Switch will be streamed when we get a Switch. So be prepared. Be prepared.
And remember too, they're supposed to be doing a rehash of the Switch, where it's supposed to be a lot better. I
Yes.
think in the summer of this year.
No, that's very true
Uh,
too. Well, me,
so
I'm
I think we'll
impatient.
think
I
of that.
won't wait. I won't wait. I don't care about the problems. Not really, honestly.
Yeah.
Um,
hmm
I won't wait. I'm happy with the Switch
Oh
product.
yeah, if someone randomly gave me one now, I would not complain.
Yeah, of course.
But I'm not gonna be able to buy it for a while. So
Yeah, I know. Yeah, don't worry.
yeah.
We'll get you there. We will get you there, my friend. But yeah, definitely, dude. Smash, Tetris 99, and Mario Party and Mario Kart is going down. I think that would be the
hmm
top four. Top four. Top four. But did you have anything else that you want to discuss, my good friend?
Nah, I'm good for the day.
You good for today?
Mhm.
Me too. I think I'm good for today. I gotta go to the bathroom because of coffee. So I think we can end it here. Why don't you go ahead and give us that outro, sir?
You got it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for listening and tuning into the OG podcast. We appreciate everyone that joins in on Twitch, on Stitcher, on SoundCloud, on everything else that we actually have this on. We appreciate it. So thank you for watching on all these platforms, even YouTube. Yes, we do appreciate you too. The
Yes.
few of you that's there as well.
The
We'll of
one
course be
person.
back. Yeah. But of course, we're here Wednesdays, 10 a.m. Central. Don't forget to be there. And if you are late to church, just understand that you're going to miss some stuff
You
because
are.
sometimes we talk about stuff
Yep.
and you might miss it.
Yep.
So, it's best to be on time if you can. But other than that, tomorrow, Able Gamers, Candy will be live representing. And then, of course, we'll be representing on his channel as well. Make Switch better again by getting him one eventually, sometime after he does his charity that he's doing later on in the month for the cerebral palsy. But I believe it's the 25th,
The
if I'm not
25th.
mistaken.
Yes, the 25th.
Yes. So
25th.
that's going to be hype. So hopefully you guys can support him there. And then, of course, if you want to check out my YouTube videos, look up the original mobile gamer. You'll be able to see my videos. I actually demoed Final Fantasy, the Dissidia one, and I've also done a new Shadowverse video. So, feel free to watch those. Other than that, we'll see you guys next week. Take care and keep gaming.
Keep gaming, y'all.